Hiya. Hiya. Ooh. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, Revan? What's going on, Jim? What's going on, Gate Gaming? George. What's up, Joe? So, how's everybody doing? Yes, I'm trying out this new chat widget from Streamlabs. And mod badges, nah. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm trying to configure this chat widget, and it apparently reset everything. Fantastic. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, good to see you again, Joe, live. And yeah, thank God I've completed like my assignments. Right. So moral of the story is don't touch the widget settings when the stream is going live. So yeah, it's a tech test today. Anyways, hello everybody, welcome back. Yeah, long time no see, Gate Gaming. You weren't here the last time I streamed 2 weeks ago, were you? Anavata looks better than Ju, fight me. I would not disagree, but I'm impartial on the matter. Good to see you again. Yeah, good to see you again. Mind if I watch what build a massacre an hour ago? No. This stream is for building and chilling. Now today I am alone because nobody's free, and the Americans are not up yet. So yeah. Oh God. Great. I better turn labels back on. Might as well have the colorful names, eh? Yeah, I'm gonna turn labels back on. We're awake. Well, not the content creators, to be fair. Some of them are either busy or they're just actually not up yet. Been a while since I saw last live build from UMJ. How was the move? The move was fine. Unfortunately, I need to move again in 2 months because I need to move out of dorms, back to my family house. And there's probably going to be another move in January or February, depends on when we actually purchase a house. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of moving going around. So that's why I am trying to pick up the pace in videos. I just finished filming the B-roll of my Gundam Maxter. That's why the stream started a little bit later than usual, but hey. I'm gonna be putting the Maxter review up for members only because I really want to respect the poll results of what review should come first. Now the Hobby Hijack review is up. Unfortunately, not a lot of people watched it, but the next to come is supposed to be this, and the labels are not working. Great. Anyways. Next one is going to be this, and then the Ghost, and then it's probably going to be, yeah, I think the Maxter, and then the Hajiro Boshi, and then the Demi Garrison. I think that's it. I'm sorry. I really, it's really pissing me off. Yep, this is gonna be the final time I touch the chat settings. So yeah, whatever. High grade Black Knight Squad are great. I built it. I loved it. I already pre-ordered the white one in my local shop. I am waiting for HLJ to put the Karura up for pre-order, and unfortunately the Ganstrom is still on back order, so I still don't have it delivered yet. And I paid for quite a few kits that are coming, and because custom taxes and whatnot, I'm out of pocket currently. Yeah, I'm the only one that's to blame for that one, but hey, more kits to come. So I basically have the entire year covered. But anyways, yeah, I'm glad you like the Black Knight Squad, George. Unfortunately, even though the Rudra has higher opinions from me, I still do not quite like the Black Knight Squad kits just because of the loose backpack. Yeah, because if you spin it enough, it's gonna loosen up. So it's not necessarily the best thing in the world. But I am interested in seeing what the Karura has to offer. I might as well call it Garuda if you guys don't mind, because yeah, Karura is the transliteration of Garuda. Anything for High Grade Seed Freedom that you don't want to review? The Zeus silhouette, definitely not. I've seen the measurements that Bandai either leaked or displayed. Now, by the way, I'm not going to be applying stickers on the Anavata just because of review format. I want to show you guys the looks of it without any stickers, and then actually show you guys the engravings for the shell units, because I don't think Mekakai Kotsu actually did that, and then show you the stickers. So I'm not going to be applying any of the stickers on stream, so forgive me. But yeah, anyways, the Zeus silhouette. I've seen the measurements that Bandai has actually either leaked or released officially, and the whole silhouette in flyer mode is 50 bloody meters. Not 50 bloody, 50 centimeters long. So about 500 millimeters long. And I was already, it's almost like twice the height of the Typhus Gundam Chimera. The length of it is almost twice the height of the Typhus Gundam Chimera, so yeah, that's a definite pass. Plus, I have a Destiny Gundam, a high-grade Cosmic Era Destiny Gundam for me to paint into the Spec 2, so I don't mind losing out on the Zeus silhouette, unless some 3D modeler makes a Zeus silhouette for the Akatsuki, then I will get a second Shiranui Akatsuki for parts. You're not alone, you have chat to accompany. Yeah, yeah, we're away. It's 9 p.m. in Thailand, so I still have time before going to bed. So yeah, this is why I chose this time to stream. Sup MJ, how's the what again? How's Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom? It's alright. It's honestly just alright to me. Like, at the very least, it is a movie that I can escape to. However, if you try to think about the logistics of it, there are a ton, and I mean a ton, of plot retcons. Plot retcons, plot armor, ridiculous power creep, all the good seed stuff you'd expect from Fukuda. I know, I was very busy budgeting for those new gunpla, that's why I couldn't come. No, actually, I didn't know you streamed 2 weeks ago, and I don't know why my notifications never sent me it. Yeah, that's weird. That's honestly quite weird. Hey bro, we're finally able to get Gyansala through an auction. That's nice. Hope to get it shipped soon. Yeah. And good luck with all the gold. I haven't heard good things about it from Type 3. Haven't seen you in a stream for a while. I streamed 2 weeks ago, come on. But I don't blame you. It was kind of like a shotgun stream that I just scheduled on the day and decided to do on the day. So I don't blame you guys for missing it. And this is definitely not working out. Boss MJ in chat, what's your opinion on the upcoming very expensive real grade Akatsuki Gundam? Huh. That's gonna be quite some debate. I will be getting it because I'm skipping out on the Zeus silhouette, thank God. But judging from the photos alone, it's a bit too much bling, in my opinion. Like, it's way too shiny. But I know that's the whole reason the Akatsuki exists, but it's the real grade Fenix all over again. But if I'm able to put a pre-order down, I'm definitely up for reviewing that thing. Yeah, hopefully the Akatsuki will be reusing nothing of the strike frame. Hopefully. And my camera just disconnected. Why? And not even half an hour in, and the technical issues are already showing their asses. Great. I just hope we don't have as many tech issues as we had the last stream. So for those of you who missed it, yeah, you've been spared the trouble of watching me resolve these tech issues for like half an hour straight. And this time I actually got to read. Some bastard outside with his Harley Davidson. But by the way, I'm sorry if there's like noise in the background because people here are very inconsiderate with their engines. And I need to keep the window open because the heat has finally come in. Like a heat of 22 degrees. But still, it's still heat nonetheless. Compared to the standard weather of the UK. So I had to keep the window open, and I don't have a fan with me, unfortunately. I do have a bottle of Pepsi Max in the communal area, so I will probably go ahead and fetch that when the heat just gets too much for me. Out of topic, you checked SDG 001123 Tifa yet? No, I haven't. Sounds busy. I'm busy too, prepping 3 kits for assembly. Lady Commander Charlotte, Figurized Soletta, and Side F New Gundam Booster Bed. Really proud of my pace. Got my backlog from 130 plus down to near 20. That's a lot of kits. But at least, hey, you're just building them. So, with some tenacity and some time, you will be able to plow through them very easily. And I'm sorry I'm missing out on chat. Gelgook Menace over Black Knights for me? Yes, absolutely. Because the Gelgook Menace is still one of the best kits. If not the best kit out of Seed Freedom High Grade for now. Let's see how the Gans Strong performs. Someone wants a 1.44 second millennium. Good luck with that. Jim Guard hints that custom kit will get reissued in the future. Hopefully so, because grunt suits are definitely not being given the attention they deserve. Did you pre-order the Engaged Gundam? Yes, I have. I pre-ordered it from my American friend, so it's gonna be here when it gets here. I think the Zeus silhouette is compatible with real grade Akatsuki. No, I don't want it to be compatible with the real grade Akatsuki, as much as I really want to test that. However, why I said, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Why I want a high grade Akatsuki compatible, and my camera just disconnected again. Why? Fucking hell. Why is my camera disconnecting? Is it because it's overheat? Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, great. Yeah, because it's overheated. Oh, great. Great! An overheating camera in the middle of a stream. That's great. What should I do? Actually, what should I do? But yeah, I'm gonna cut to the chase. The reason why I want a high-grade Shiranui Akatsuki for parts is because I want the backpack to make the Hyper Zeta Gundam Hono. Just look that up. It's from Build Factor's Hono. And the movie is 7.8 for me because Ryu's Destiny Plan, it's not as high as a 7.8. Escapism-wise, yes, 7.8, but Story-wise, reuse of the Destiny plan, salty characters, the whole plot hinging on somebody hurt my fifis, and the whole plot retcons thing. No, just no. It's terrible from a plot standpoint. Did you get the figure I standard Avatar Fumina? No, I haven't. It's back. Yes, I know it's back. I know it's something within my control, but the camera itself is overheating because I immediately hooked it up to my computer after filming the Maxter, and it's overheating, and because it's hot outside. So I don't know if you want to stare at the black screen while you listen to me talk, catch up with chat, and wait for the camera to cool down or something. So that's why I'm asking what I should do. Anyways. Yeah, I know George. Yeah, I'm being ironic. I'm taking the Michael here. Yeah, there we go. It's again. Yep. I guess we have no choice but to wait for the camera to cool down. So, that's such a massive shame. Do you guys have any suggestions on what to do in the meantime? Like, while my camera cools down? At least it's not something I had to have to cut the stream for, so that's at least some consolation. Bro, at least in Asia, we have a heat wave and it's hell lol. Yes, I know. I wish I had air conditioning now, but yeah. We can talk, I guess. I have no fan! I don't have a fan. That's the whole point. If I had a fan, I would have just shut the windows and actually went ahead and actually felt better about streaming in the heat. But yeah, the majority of the heat comes from the very, very well insulated abodes in the UK. So that's kind of one detriment of UK housing. And yeah, we can just talk. Wait for the camera to cool down. Add drinking hot coffee. I just I actually did. High-grade Burnapius will have an interesting redesign. I know. I pre-ordered that thing as well. Whoops. And I'm actually interested in how the Burnapius functions, because the Aesculapius disappointed me. Like, even though it's one of the first videos I've done of the current format, you guys can just check that video out and see how disappointed I was with the Aesculapius. Finally got the clear piece on. Finally. Got like 10 kits in transit. Oh my god. What's connected? Ah, the camera charging. Well, compared to the heat wave in the Philippines, yours is more cooler with 50 degrees. My condolences, Gate. Can you try Spider-Man poses with Anavata? It looks more agile than the Lfrith, and with lightning it looks like webs. Probably not on the stream. But if you want to make a Spider-Man build, sure, go ahead. In my opinion, the Shiranui cut, yeah, of course it's gonna be the real great Shiranui pack would be P Bandai if they ever make it. They still haven't made the universe booster for the real great build strike, so I don't know what the hell that is. I think I mentioned way back in your earlier streams. I take much too long to finish against an average builders. Hobby knife, yeah, but then again, it's at least you build it, play around with it, and then you can just forget about it. Like, you don't need to constantly have it in your mind that, oh, I still have something more to do with it. Unless you want to paint those kits, then that's another matter on its own. Yeah, I'm in the UK. The local time here is 3:20 as of when I'm reading this. Yeah, looking forward to the high-grade Psycho Gundam R2. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be picking that up because of, yeah, size and all. But if it comes out in 2025, then perhaps put the camera in the fridge. I might just get my Pepsi Max and just cool it down. Hopefully the gold marker will look good on the Gansalon when it's all said and done. Don't top coat it after you do it. Just top coat it before you apply the gold. Then it would look good. If you do plan to top coat it anyway. And we can talk, I guess. Yeah, keep talking, reading chat, singing. Sure. Hey, anybody of you guys post a fast building review of Kits and Snips? No, I haven't. Explain stories of manga. What manga? Camera proper ventilation? No, it's a ZV-1. I mean, I just uploaded a review of the FRS Avatar Fruitman if you're interested. Yeah, sure. I'll probably take a look at that when I have time. Drizzled a while for 6 hours ago, which is nice. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be pouring down in the south, like over the weekend. Hopefully that stream of clouds will just come up north, so that we have some cool air for a bit. AC usage in my home hurts my electric bills, but it's better than being rushed to the hospital though. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, well, thanks to the very well insulated abodes here in the UK, the heat indoors is just torturous. So that's why I wish I had like air conditioning. Plus, the weather, even if you have air conditioning, if you have to pay services and whatnot, it's still not going to be a lot of usage because of the UK weather. Like, you just need it to cool down the insides. And when the temperature dips to below 20 degrees, which is most of the time, then yeah, sure, you can just turn it off, have natural air. And it doesn't help that the fact that my window doesn't open like a lot, so couple that with the completely wrong wind direction, then yeah, they would have a sauna for my room during the day. Probably like the reason to go out more. I started buying high grades because high grade cosmic art this year is so good. It's like they simplify real grade joints, put in a high grade, and I didn't hope the design I like will be made to mass grade anyway. That's one of the major reasons why I stuck with high grade, because of the wider variety of kits. I don't have top coat. I use a metallic green Gundam marker for the high grade Shenlong before the shoulder orbs. So I don't think there should be any issues with Gansalon. Well, if you don't plan to top coat it, then it's fair enough. Somebody's driving out there with an old Ferrari. That's nice. Yeah, my window faces the road outside, so I can actually look at cars when people drive past. P Bandai taking all the cool designs. High grade bars M2 coming. Why are people still complaining about Advanced Zeta's kits being what? Being P Bandai? Like, there's a whole rights issue with Dengeki Hobby that pushed them into P Bandai. Like, if they release future designs of Sentinel, I bet they're gonna be P Bandai just because of the rights issue there. And man, you can explain Gundam manga like how the referring pies Lucas. I haven't read Seed. So that caught up with chat, and my camera seems to have cooled down. Well, I'm gonna get my Pepsi Max just in case, so be back in a bit. Okay, with the heat warning gone and chat reset itself again. Okay, so the more I learn about this whole widget, so I think in future streams, if the chat works, actually let me see. Let me see if the browser source chat widget actually works now. It doesn't. Fantastic. We're back. Good. We're fully back. The heat warning's gone, so I can continue building. Yep, here it is. A whole bottle of Pepsi Max. Whole bottle of Pepsi Max for 85p. Can you see the Aurora Borealis through the window? No. I checked last night. I'm in Sheffield, by the way, so I checked last night. The skies are a bit cloudy, and if I ever were to be able to see the Aurora Borealis, it would probably just be colors outside the window. So no, I can't confirm that I didn't see anything. Unfortunately, so yeah, I saw the news, and I was excited for it because, well, my first time experiencing snow, and probably my first, like, in February, and my first time experiencing the Aurora Borealis. I didn't have such luck. Are you able to build it yet? Yeah. Let me just Great. So anything to tamper with the camera angle is not gonna work. I really wanted to put my bottle of Pepsi near my camera just so it doesn't overheat that much, but beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, we can continue to build now. Yeah, this is a very budget setup. As if you couldn't tell, I'm still in my dorms, and since I don't have a proper desk setup in my at home, because it's still a rental. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a bit tough for me to stream. This is a very makeshift setup. Boss, MJ is like Zeta car worth get. I kind of want to pair it with my narrative Gundam Lfrith. What do you mean, Zeta? Oh, Zeta Gundam Lfrith. I have no authority on the Zeta Gundam Lfrith, unfortunately. So you might need to take a look at the other content creators' videos. But from what I've heard from hearsay, it's like the best version of the Zeta to date. I do panelize and I've been getting suspecting small details like color inaccuracies in pipes, eyes and such, so that's how fortunate. Yeah. We're in the same boat, man. Same boat. I can drink 2 liters while on shift. Yeah. And at this point, I might as well drink 2 liters of water. But here we go. Woo! That's some nifty focus. The camera never focused this quickly before. But hey, here it is. The Lfrith Anavata's head. I kind of like what they did with it. Like, imagine, like, you have your own distinct design style, and you have to work based off of some other design style. Like, this is basically it. JNT head base with Ippei Gyobu's design language. It's actually quite nice. It's actually quite refreshing to see. Of course, it's nowhere near as non-Gyobu as the G Arcane is, but still. Yes, I know the G Arcane is designed by Gyobu, shut up. But still, a lot of the G Reco designs, apart from the JitLab ones, JitLab's Capital Army, those I can tell they are Gyobu, but the American Army designs, I genuinely couldn't tell that they're. Some of them are like designed by Gyobu, apart from the Grimoire, of course, because it doesn't have the modern Gyobu things that we come to expect from it today. Yeah, this is the P-Banda one, High Juice. I can see Moon Gundam in Anavata. Nope, that's wrong. That's worse. Like, this one piece. This one partition of the, Yep, there we go. And the black's clear piece. Oh, come on. and the black clear piece seems to be opaque enough to depict the disabled shell units, which is pretty nice. And by the way, yes, I forgot to show you, there are engravings underneath the clear piece. Oh, for God's sake, come on. There are engravings underneath the clear piece that you can choose to paint in. I might try that, actually, just to give it some UV reactivity fun. Also, what I did when I was living in AUS during summer, open the curtains at night, close them during the day, preferably with a fan to circulate cool air, open them, yeah. I do that as well. Which from Mercury Gundam has really amazing designs. To be honest, in my opinion, only it's comparable. Yeah. Which from Mercury actually deviated a lot from the Gundam traditions in terms of design, which I really am a fan of, except for when it comes to the Donald Fold ones, because yeah, obviously those are from 00. But like, look at the Ariel and the Pharact. Both of them are like, yeah, they are from Gundam, but they don't look like they are from Gundam because of the wildly different design language. And then of course you'll have the usual suspects like Ipek Yobu, Kanatake Ebikawa. Those guys, the usual suspects of Gundam nowadays. Where's Katoki gone, honestly? The eyes are not stickers, Gate. The eyes are separate. And one bonus of the eyes being separate, where is the one thing that I needed? Oh, it's right in front of me. The plastic actually glows under UV. So I needn't do any more like mods to it in order to make it glow under UV. That is very, very nice. And that also extends to the rear head camera because it's the same piece. Can't find the article. I read the reason why Advanced Zeta ended up with speed aside from Gundam Muki. It's definitely just a rights issue. That's as far as I've heard anyway. And to be honest, we really cannot blame them. And assemble the common frame, eh? P Bandai but got color man. Yeah, they're really like arbitrary when it comes to that. Like the Ghost also has like a fully detailed colored manual, even though the details are dubiously translated at best. The Hajiroboshi has a detailed manual, but it's still monochrome, and the Demi Garrison also has the same G-Wish manual, obviously. And if you guys have been paying attention, like the Japanese are soon to receive their pre-production Lfriths and their Hingras, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have in store for that. And hopefully, because the parts actually arrived now, hopefully I'm able to get the 3D printed version reviewed soon. Hopefully. But I'm not holding my breath because I have a lot of projects that I want to get to. Plus, I still have my school dissertation, so that's something that I will need to work on and off. So there's still quite a lot for me to do, but it would be perfect timing for me to review for me to paint up and review the 3D printed parts for the Lfrith pre-production. No, I don't have a 3D printer. I have a friend who does 3D printing businesses, so yeah, WH Designs, go ahead and support him. He's been on the stream like, not last week. It's the Amazing Barbatos Lupus build stream when WH Designs popped on stream. I've invited him to like stream tomorrow because I know for damn sure I'm not going to be able to get through all of the P Bandai kits that I have on this one stream alone, and I really want to give you guys like have more streams before I have to move out, so that I can chill and chat with you guys. So yeah, Have you ever built the Tallgeese 3 RG titanium finish? No, I haven't. And besides, I'm not one for special finish kits. Like, if you've seen my Amazing Barbarossa's Lupus video, you'll know for a fact that I'm not a fan of special finish kits, unless they make sense. Sure, the Amazing Barbarossa's Lupus was shoehorned into the plot like nobody's business, but I was desperate at the time. Nobody knew that they were gonna toss out a regular version when I bought it. So, joke's on me. Typos on a previous message. Wait, what do you mean? Have you heard that Daiso also set a mechanical basis and stands? I haven't heard of Daiso. It's actually easy to make a designer. You're literally iterating on a pre-existing design. So Ipigyobu's work was half done. This was Iron Blooded Orphans' MO, except the base template was a frame. Still, you design around the well, just take a look at the Gundam Gujin. That definitely doesn't have many traits of the Gundam frame we know today. So you can still very well take your own liberties on the Gundam frame. But this, you have a pre-design. You have an existing design by JNT Head, and the design language between JNT Head and Ipigyobu are extremely different from each other. So it was very nice to see like how the two designs would have molded together. It's not like Ipigyobu took his own liberties and designed a whole new Lfrith, because that's actually not what the Lfrith Anavata was. Internal temp too high, allowed to cool, for God's sake. What's wrong with my camera today? I might just have to grab a block of ice. I don't know whether or not I have ice packs or not, but I don't know. I need some efficient way to cool it down, because it's gonna turn off like every half an hour if I build on and off like this. Yeah, I know, George. I know. I hate to do this. I absolutely hate to do this, but I might think of applying a cooling, like you know those stickers you put on your forehead when you have a fever. I might think about putting one of those, like cooling gels, onto the onto my camera. I have acrylic paint. Can it help? For what? I've ordered the first pre-production. Unfortunately, I have to wait until July. Does my camera have power saver mode? You just build even though those cameras are dead. Methanol doesn't work on cameras though, I think. I don't know. I don't have any mint gel. But I think I might just change the battery if I'm honest. Let me see. Playback setup, monitor brightness. I'm gonna turn down the monitor brightness. Power save start time, power off with monitor, power off. USB power supply on, nothing new there. Okay, I basically done all I could, so I'm gonna swap the batteries. There we go, that should help. Anyways, we're back. I've turned on everything that has to do with power saving, so it should be good. Plus, the battery is fresh. Are you gonna purchase the Gundam X in October? No, probably not. I'm not a fan of the design at all, and I don't think the majority of the Gundam community is, because it looks just disgusting. Mechanical bases, and it sells fast whenever it's in stock. Speaking of bases, I am considering getting the DDB Corgi Quiet Zero action base for the high grade aerial rebuild. I don't know. It's just to review it, but I'll have to import it from Malaysia, because third-party kits are not that easy to come by in Japanese sources. I'll have to import that base from Malaysia if you guys are interested. But here are the engravings of the shell units. I'll have to cross compare it with the stickers to see if they can be a complete replacement, but most likely they could. They've implemented it into such details after all. Is the camera still overheating? No, I swapped out the batteries, I turned down the screen brightness. So hopefully it'll be fine for a little bit more. Chest frame is also amazing. Yep, absolutely. The acrylic will work on a frame. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, for God's sake. Is it me, or is my copy a bobblehead? It's probably just me. It's still a bobblehead. Oh God, no. Let me put on the rest of the parts and see what's what. I don't know, but the mech design are a miss for me. It's okay, but not my thing. Yeah, Requiem of Vengeance. I like the Zaku Solari, and it's screaming for battle damage. But the Gundam EX, no, absolutely not. Gundam X looks like Terminator for some reason. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the reactions, mates. Top coating and or painting the joints will fix it. Yeah. MJ 3D print RX124 Gundam TR6 inlay. It's gonna be 2 meters tall, man. Yeah, Gate. Yeah, Gate. I agree with you. The IBO frames are not necessarily the longest lasting things ever. That being said, the frames on my Bale and my Kimaris Vidar are still lasting quite a bit. To be fair, I'm still waiting on myself to draw the sigils, like you know the demon sigils that I used in past videos. I'm still waiting on myself to draw them out before I re-review them. And the Kimaris Vidar's colors are getting on my nerves. I really want to get to painting that thing. But still, I want to give you guys the whole cheeky but neat touches in my videos. So I still want to draw the sigils before I get to filming the videos. How is that piece not undergated? Like this, look at this. Look at this. It's just a gate that's tacked on directly there. And this whole piece just... Am I missing something? No, it's... That's a bit arse cakes. Like, even the Lfrith Thorn had, like, an undergate on its shell units, just because it has to use, like, a particularly large gate. This doesn't. Like, why? This looks extremely jarring, especially if you put in the stickers, put in a black backing, and you'll definitely see the nut mark there. I don't have a glass file, don't ask. Hi, Frost. Where do you get your P Bandai? Nowadays, after the move, I get it from my American friend. I pre-ordered my stuff, get it sent to their place, and they'll get it sent over to me, and I'll just pay shipping for them as well. Yeah, the Kimaris Vidar. I prefer Vidar than Kimaris Vidar, to be honest. What I'll do is just sand it down and buff and polish it. It would scruff it up, wouldn't it? Like, just using regular sanding sticks to I'll try it with a 1000. Let's see. Yeah, it's staying on there unless I get a glass file, so I'm gonna stick with it. It's one notable flaw to watch out for the Lfrith Anavata, but hey, a flaw is a flaw. You can still mention it and not get in trouble. And by the way, the colors are actually correct. It's just cameras that are picking them up wrong. Same thing goes for the Lfrith pre-production model, as far as I'm aware. Like, based on the display photos from whatever hobby display it was on, the pre-production Lfrith looked bright. And especially the Gyan Strom, the dark blue, while it's still wrong, it's nowhere near as rich as Bandai was depicting it. So, who knows what's going on with cameras these days? Sad thing, we missed one of the 6 stars. Yeah. We're still missing the Baklazan family. But hopefully they'll have like a major part to play in the Uruzu Khan's animated project. Because the last point of interest is of the Baklazans. So who knows what they are hiding, like, underneath their neutral facade. Like, I highly doubt that the Falks and the Baklazans are completely neutral to everything everything surrounding them. And imagine if Wistario Afam is one lost child of the Baklazan family, because we still have that one plot thread that was never really addressed in the game. Like, when you learn the true name of of the Gundam Hajiroboshi, your life wouldn't be the same. That's what Mendo said. And we never got a resolution to that plotline. So who knows who Wistario Afam is, because that might not be his real name. Not sure if you have a 2500 or 4000 grid. No, I don't. But I'm gonna stick with what I have, mention the flaws, and tell people to look out for it. Still no Master Grade Gundam Vidar. There's still no Master Grade Gundam frame in general, apart from the Barbatos. Because it's a shame. It's a shame because we're still due a Master Grade Gundam Flauros. Master Grade Vidar or Master Kimaris Vidar or Master Grade Lupus or Master Grade Bale, please. It's never Lupus. Don't know if you get that reference, but it's never Lupus. It's never gonna be Lupus. I don't like the Lupus Rex. Proportions look weird, maybe because of the arms. Well, design-wise, yeah, it's weird. But if you're talking about the proportions of the high grade, then I would completely agree with you. The high grade proportions are completely off. Well, the arms anyway. Aspidate is too pristine to upgrade. It will have an upgrade. Like, it... For God's sake. Honking their horns like madmen. But the Aspidate was visibly remodeled in the trailer for the animated project, so Aspidate will have an upgrade, and it seems like they have toned back the color apps of the new Aspidate upgrade because it looks more simplistic compared to the original. So I don't know, it will have had sustained like damage from its fight with the Mebahia. So prime opportunity to upgrade and sell more kits. House MD, yeah. Yep, Jim, you got it. It's never lupus. Wasn't there an announcement of a Master Grade Gundam Vidar 1 or 2 years ago? Either you're fooled by Zaku Aurealis, or it's just some hearsay that you misremembered. I don't know how many people still believe the old, like, April Fool's announcement videos of Zaku Aurealis. Like, I've had to clear a lot of that up for him. How about the Hajiroboshi? Did they upgrade again? They will upgrade it again. In fact, they might actually uncover what Marcosius means and then upgrade it based on that. Because if you've seen the key visual of the Uruzu Hunt animated project, you'll see in the reflection that the Hajiroboshi actually has a third form that is a mix of the upper body of the Marcosius and the lower body of the second form, with the Hajiroboshi face and slightly different color distribution. So the Hajiroboshi will be upgraded a third time once they know what Marcosius means. That's my guess anyway. But do you agree that Marcosius fighting against the mobile armor on memory is badass? Yeah, it fought against 2 of them on its own, and it gave the spectating one some PTSD that it's never able to get over. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's coming back. It's such a great plot point, and they just completely abandoned it. Like, the main body is still intact, so let's see what Eok Kujan does when he reaches the colony, because that's another plot point that was never resolved. Eok Kujan actually asked for his Regulars to go to the colony that was the point of interest, like the third point of interest in the hunt, to inspect the mobile armor. And if he's foolish enough to do that and actually go through with the plan, he will have awakened the Harael again. So the Harael awakened, Eokujan gets a lucky escape, and then Harael goes after Marcosius. That's what I hope. That's what I really hope would happen, and would be where the gang gets the epiphany of what Marcosius means. And I really hope Harael is going to be a recurring villain in the hunt, because it's such a missed opportunity to develop the relationship and the mystery behind the Calamity War. It must be one of the April Fool's story about MGIPL. Yeah. Aspidate Mark II or Aspidate Spec 2 lol. It's probably gonna adopt a different name. I don't know which name it could adopt, even based on my knowledge, but we'll see. In my opinion, I think the Asmodeus and Voile looks better with their feet switched between them. The Voile is just the Astral Origin, unless you mean the Yuhana. But I'm not surprised, they're very close in number. MG will become occasional releases, right? Probably, I don't know. Because the only MGs today we get, like, 2 Master Grade version cars, and that's it. Not counting MGSD. So, it's a bit of a drought for Master Grade fans for the past few years. High Grade Calibarn is my favorite G-Witch kit. I'm not surprised. It's one of the most beginner-friendly kits out there. Like, white color scheme, so no need to worry about nut marks if you clean the parts up right. And it's overheating. For fuck's sake, what's going on? It wasn't doing this. I'm gonna give it a cold patch, I don't care. There we go. There we go. I gave it like the fever cooling pad. So let's see how that works out. And can I actually tune down the video quality? No, not that button. No, not that button. Let me see if I can actually tone down the video quality. I definitely want it to be HD, but yeah, I'm gonna tune it down to the lowest frame rate possible. I don't think you actually need 50 frames per second on stream, so hopefully that would work. But anyways, IBO is like Monster Hunter, going around in Gundam Frame trying to kill big mecha monster that ravage the world. Yeah. Absolutely. So, frame rate lowered with a cooling pad, and if that doesn't work, then I'm probably going to be screwed for the stream. Because I might want to attempt to build another kit as well. Where's the fourth piece? Oh, it's right there. Losing stuff right in front of me. Then salvage is parts that upgraded yourself, Lamau. What if we have reverse in IBO, where the mobile armor is the Gundams and the Gundam frame becomes... You're just reversing the naming scheme then. And since like Harael, Mebahia, and Nemamiya are from the 72 Angels of Shemha Mifarash, or however you pronounce that, you'll have 72 angels versus 72 demons. And considering the fact that you have 2 Harael units at the very least, excluding the alpha and beta variants, there's going to be at least like, what, 72, 144 at least, excluding the ones outside of the naming scheme, like the Hashmal and the Ananel, or Ananil, if you're basing it on the actual mythology. So consider that there is like over 100 mobile armors that are just running around. And if you reverse the naming scheme, then there's no difference, if I'm honest. Okay. How long did it take for you to film the Maxter? I came back to my dorms at 1, I think. Had lunch. I think it took me like around like half an hour to film the Maxter's finish, like the verdict spins. And that's apparently already too much for my camera. But I'll just need a reminder to change the quality back, just so I have better source footage, better B-roll footage. I'm going to kit bash my high-grade Gundam Caliban with my Barbatos Lupus Rex. Well, good luck with that, because the compatibility is not exactly up there. Eox's death is really the most satisfying one. Yep, definitely. He doesn't deserve to live. Do you guys remember the drone? Yes, I remember that there is something called the drone war in Witch for Mercury. They never brought it up, And that's one thing that I don't like about Witch from Mercury. Like, people say that the world building is great in the anime series. Like, no, it's not. It's a completely separate reality from what has been impacted by the Vanitas incident. Sure, you have some remnants, but it's 21 years ago. Of course, some people are going to be doing the research underground, but it isn't as directly impacted by prior events from the Ad Stella as Vanitas Heart. Like I repeatedly said, Vanitas Heart is the series that we should have gotten instead of Witch from Mercury proper. Just because the world building surrounding the impacts of the Vanitas incident is way better. Instead of, my daughter is dead, so I need to build like a giant mecha body for her and ruin everybody's life to bring her back to life. Like, come on, move the fuck on. And we have barely any world building between like the Earthians and Spatian conflicts. And all that good stuff. Like, come on. Pitch a Gundam series. I really doubt I have the capacity for that, but I can tell you like the qualities of a good story that I want from writers, but I couldn't exactly come up with a good story off the top of my head. So sorry. Yes, Urutu Hunt. Yeah, Taco Guy, Uruzu Hunt happened between Season 1 and Season 2 of Iron Blooded Orphans. But yeah, if they actually resolve the whole Eok Kujan plot point by having him awaken Harayel for a second time, then he is absolutely the most stupid heir of a royal family ever. Oh yeah, by the way, excuse me. There are engravings for the shoulder shell units, so go ham with your markers if you want to bring those out yourself. Well, Urdgrunt awakened 2 mobile armor. I have no idea what you're saying. But yes, I know they've awakened 2 mobile armors over the course of the series proper. The cooling pad seems to be doing some good work, honestly. The cooling pad and the lowered frame rate. So, yep, let's stick with that. Hopefully nothing goes wrong hopefully I can still use the cooling pad for when I actually get into an emergency, because I'm only using half of it. The surface area isn't as large as my forehead, to be sure. So yeah, there we go. 3. Okay. I'm gonna laugh. Who said Witch from Mercury has great world building? I watched through it and I don't even know how the geopolitical stage in that universe at all. Every G-Wish fan in the world. Because people are gonna fight you for saying that G-Wish has any flaws whatsoever. It's like the best Gundam series ever. Just look at Twitter. Like I've seen this one post that called people out for criticizing Witch from Mercury because they don't want something new, quote unquote. We want something new. We don't want to just delve back into the Universal Century with repeated stories from the same original era. Like, we're still telling stories from the 1 year war 45 bloody years later, and we definitely want something new. We do want something new. But at the same time, we want something new that is actually intriguing and good. But then again, haters are gonna be haters. We all have our own opinions, but still, then again, you don't have to call people out for like criticizing something you love, because everything is deserving of criticism. It's just a matter of whether you see it or not. I'm sorry. To be frank, if they wrote a character to be hateable and people love to hate him, then the writers did a good job. Like, look at good point, Phaser. Yeah, Phaser. Sorry about that. Good point. Just look at Flay Ulster. people love to hate on her as a person, but as a character, people loved her because she has her own nuance. She has relatable like motivations behind her hate. Even though she's a vindictive son of a even though she's a vindictive bitch, she still has some character nuance behind her. So that's why everybody hates her as a person but loves her as a character. Same thing goes for, well, Iyakujan is mostly a gag character, if I'm honest. But yeah, he's a really well written gag character, if I may say so myself. He's just stupid. He takes everything literally, tries to frame everybody for everything, and he's like one of the most typical examples of what a modern human being is. Blaming everybody for their own shortcomings and failing to see the errors in their ways. I have a theory that the drone wars was the end of the unmanned military drones because of piloted mobile suits. That's quite a wild theory to come up with based on one line of blurbs. But hey, if they plan to delve into the drone wars in Wish for Mercury, if they do even remember that it exists, then sure, let's see how well that theory holds. Other series like Wing 00, Seed, UC, I know some of the geopolitical stuff in those universes. Yeah, same here. Excuse me for that. And I might be doing something wrong here. Forgotten how to build a Lfrith already. Wait. Oh. I used the wrong joints for the wrong things. But yeah, one thing about G-Witch kits, they're easy to disassemble, so any errors can be easily rectified. Thank God for that. Hi. Jomel, yes, most of the high-grade build fighters kits will be getting a re-release. Not the ones that matters in any way, because I want a Camp for Amazing, and they're not reissuing that. I really also want a high-grade X-Maul, and they're not reissuing that as well. Come on. But yes, it's true. That's a lot of the build series kits are going to be getting like a second re-release. Thank God for that. So people who want like the Gym Sniper K9, for example, very popular kit, you can wait for the reissues and go right ahead. And I've seen like also the Battle Log kits are going to be coming back out. So like the Lightning Black Warrior, the Reversible Gundam, and the Carrion Gundam Saga, Striker Jinx. I think the Galaxy Cosmos is also coming back out as well, but that's all based on one Japanese site, so take it with a grain of salt. But as far as I know, like Saboriman actually has like the official re-release schedules somehow. Japanese sources, who knows? But and it confirms that the one list that we see online for July reissues is true. They're true. So yeah, we can keep our hopes up. Sort of Seed, but with new humanity as proper transhumanity. BRB. Almost all Gundam series are conflict of space knights and Terrans. Yeah. Which means Eox is a favorite character for the wrong reasons. Yup. Absolutely. Yeah, the cooling pad is definitely doing a lot of work for me, so I'm going to keep it on. I just wish I can, oh my god. Nah. Yeah, I just hope I can reuse it later on, in case I myself am in an overheating emergency. But anyways, yeah. Witch from Mercury is disappointing for me because they're focusing too much on the Sulamio drama around them rather than the bigger political world or revenge plot from the episode 0 incident. Yeah. And even, no. They didn't even focus on the whole relationship thing because I don't really see, like, chemistry between Suletta and Miorin. Like, not in the series proper anyways. Like, the one thing I constantly like to bring up is that, do you guys remember the tour of Japan Twitter shorts leading up to the release of season 2 of G-Witch? If you remember those, great. Because there is way more character chemistry between the two in those 9 minutes of shorts than compared to the entire series proper. And then for some reason in the end, just in love for some reason and married. I don't feel any, like, fucking horns. I don't feel any character, like, chemistry between the two in the series proper, and yet for some reason they're up to interpretation in the end of the series. So, in general, G-Witch is just like a bad series. At best, it can be described as plain white rice. I know a lot of the G-Witch fans are gonna unsubscribe from my channel, so yep. If you don't like my opinions, then I don't know what to say. But if you still like G-Witch because, like, despite all those flaws, more power to you. Seriously. Yokujan's arrogance make my nerves itch. It's more, it makes me laugh, to be honest. Like, Yokujan, if what I said is true, and if he did actually go to the colony and reawaken Harael, good luck. If only Orga didn't bite the bait McGillis gave him in the end, it would be so different. But no, because of Eok, Orga bit it out of revenge for his fallen brother. They're all just single-minded, to be honest, in the end. Is Fenix really one of the 72 demons? Yes, Fenix is the 37th demon in the Ars Goetia. He holds the rank of Marquis and is a phoenix with a childlike voice. And he hopes to return to heaven after, like, 1500 years, but has been deceived in that thought. The deception is definitely part of it, but I forgot how many years. So here's the upper body of the Lfrith Anavata done. And the camera hasn't turned off yet. Great! Everything's going to plan. We need the high-grade barbaric. It's hard to tell whether or not. Well, we do need a high-grade barbaric, I think. But it's gonna be hard to tell whether or not Bandai is gonna put focus on Breaker Battlelog anyway. But then again, they didn't release it for 2 to 3 years, so we're SOL on that one. Witch from Mercury does set up and build its world fairly well, though the follow-through is the big miss. Close to nil was resolved. Yeah. I mean, if you're referring to the prologue, then yeah, it does build its political world really well. Like, we understood the political dynamics of Spatians versus Earthians, and the whole dynamic between mobile suit developments. Yes, the prologue set up the world really well, but it didn't come into any resolution during the main series. It's more like my fifis are hurt because my daughter is dead, so I have to ruin the world for everybody else just so I can bring her back. In the most stupid way possible. Do you think Witch from Mercury series would have been better if they had 50 episodes? Yes and no. It depends on what they would do with the extra 26 episodes. Because if they stuck to the if they stick with the status quo and basically just extended the entire story across 50 episodes, then Suletta will still be as unengaging of a character until the very end as she was in the series proper. So it really depends on what the writers will do with the with the extra episodes if they were given extra episodes. Does the seed action system can be used on other characters without modifying everything? It depends. It depends, like I said, because the seed action system is basically a concept. So it isn't that the Seed Freedom kits would be using the exact same frame for every single one, because like I said, the Goguk Menace uses a completely original frame compared to everything before it. The Black Knight Squad has some slight differences compared to the Rising Freedom and Immortal Justice. So the Seed Action System is more like a concept that they would play around with for the Seed Freedom kits, instead of an actual frame that they have to abide by. Which in some part, yes, I like it for that, but at the same time, they kind of restricted it in terms of customization, but I'm not sure what to say. But yeah, a lot of the parts need to be modded from the Seed Action System to be compatible with Universal Standard, depending on the kit. So that's why I had mentioned like which kits have which parts that can be compatible with what. Like most of my Seed Freedom kits, actually, most of my Seed Freedom reviews actually delve into which parts are compatible with what. So yeah, that's why that information is useful, instead of just pointless backpack fashion shows. Anyone gonna purchase Gundam Breaker 4 here? Me. But like I said in the beginning of the stream, I am out of pocket, so I am gonna save up, and since it is releasing in August, I might ask for it as a birthday present. So there you go. It's like the one that I want to get is like the mid-tier version of Gundam Breaker 4. It costs like 70 quid, which is quite a lot for a game, let's be honest. But hey, at least we're gonna get like 15 kits off the bat, the access to the season pass, and if I pre-order it early enough, I'll get the recirculation Gundam, which I'm not necessarily interested in, and some other goodies as well. Jiris romance is kind of forcing me. Of course it is, because it is. Best part was from Mercury's Guel falling from his top position. Yeah. I like Guel's storyline, and I like Elan's storyline, like the clones. Obviously not Elan Prime. I don't like the plot point of Elan Prime, but I like the plot points of Elan 4 and Elan 5. Not gonna go into detail there. It's a decent series, but it could have been better if they had a higher budget. If they had competent writers, that is. I don't like the school setting. Hey, a few Gundam series take place in schools, so it depends on how they use it. Like in a story, to me, like, it doesn't matter where your story is set, what your characters are. It all depends on how the writers use it. So let's just say, as ridiculous as Spy Family is, like, you can get some absolutely incompetent writers to get on board that series, and will still be crap, even though they would have like golden chips placed in front of them. The odds are stacked for them. The odds are stacked in their favor, and they can still fuck up if they use the elements terribly. So I think the school setting can work as like a cheery facade to the darker world outside of the school. So it creates a false sense of security to the outer dilemmas and outer dynamics. And then when that boils over into the school, which, well, it did technically, then everyone's world falls apart. So in that sense, yes, but they focus too much on the school things, and never really lets the horns again. I really wish people would just stop honking for no reason whatsoever, but they never gave enough like nuance to the outer political stuff in the long run for them to actually matter. So it's more about how they use the elements and how balanced they are in the story. I don't know, that's just my take. Yeah, the Gundams are great from G-Witch. I like plain white rice. Fair enough, to each their own. At this point, I'm just waiting for Hathaway Part 2. Yeah. G-Witch needed more time to cook. Yeah. Absolutely. And if their budget didn't go to the metaverse, then it will have the time. G-Witch is forgettable for me, but Guel isn't. Yeah. Cool. George, if they actually told the story of G-Witch from Bob's perspective, then we will get, at least we will get sentient construction bots. But then again, if you get that corny reference, I'm sorry. But in all honesty, if they focused on Guel, if they told the story, oh, I almost built something wrong. If they told the story of G-Witch from Guel's perspective, then I'm all for it. Like his rise and fall and rise again, because Guel has like the most character nuance out of the G-Witch characters. Since I'm into a lot of visual character design, the looks of Witch from Mercury gave a lot of staying power for me, despite the bad story. Fair enough. The designs, sure, but I like to separate the designs from the story, so we can talk about those as separate entities, because I don't think the designs, like, you can give a very crappy mech design and still make it memorable because either of how crap it is or how memorable it is in the story. So I don't think designs factor into how I think the story is a lot of the time. I only like the mobile suits in G-Witch, fair enough. The origin kits are very popular. That's why they're constantly out of stock. I still like Witch from Mercury. It started my addiction of Gunpla. This show just feels like it skips through many things to rush to the end. Yeah, it feels like pressing enter to rush through video game cutscenes. And Suletta Mercury is basically the player character, but given minimal nuance. That's it. The origin kits are nice. In addition to mechanical designs, Witch from Mercury characters look great too. Like I said, separate matters. Okay, speaking of reissues, hopefully the Aegis Knight comes up again. Just found out it was designed by Takayuki Yanase, and it will look good like a Gundam with the right paint job, but brother machine to Ur and Thorn. Yeah, absolutely. Like the face of the Thorn actually looks like the Aegis Knight. Yeah, same designer, whatnot. Yeah, I know. We catch up with chat. Hey Vincent, what's funny if this Prospera had just used the technical mentors talking about you, yeah, that's my points from the from one of my previous streams. Like, if Prospera actually built a Gund prosthetic 1-to-1 human mannequin, or well, give her a digital face, of course. If she built a human mannequin using Gund prosthetics, then Eric would just have like a normal human body instead of being infused into a mobile suit. It's like, come on, like, how stupid does she have to be? Of course, well, yeah, I get it. She took refuge in Mercury. She doesn't have the resources, probably. But then again, if she could upload a soul into a Gundam, then what's stopping her from downloading a soul into another Gund interface? Even if you give her the benefit of the doubt, it still is stupid. I hope the next high grade line still retains the seed action system, whatever they call it by the time. Let's see what the Gundam EX has to offer, then let's talk about that. Because I doubt that the seed action system is gonna be spreading out into the rest of the Gunpla kits. Name one mobile suit you wish to see a retcon. For me, it's the Zuda. For me to see a retcon, I don't know, because some of my favorite mobile suits are like universe sleepers. Like, if you don't know what I mean by that, extreme. So I can basically retcon anything with that power. But if I were to want to retcon any mobile suit based on what I know, I, 'cause, I would want to retcon the Gundam Zagan. Like, if you don't know the Gundam Zagan, it's from Uruzu Hunt, and I'm not afraid to spoil it. It's the issue family Gundam frame. I really wish that it didn't die that easily. Spoilers, by the way. It got finished off by a strike of random lightning, which is an absolute shame. It got killed in the episode it debuted. And there goes my bloody light. Ugh. Yeah, lesson learned. No radical movements. I'm playing Gundam Breaker 4 on Nintendo Switch. Do you have access to the the CPT? To be honest, High Grade Rising Freedom, even without the stickers in its wings, is amazing enough for me. But then again, it's outshined by the Galgook Menace. Absolutely. Like, even if you disregard the whole intricate design thing from the Rising Freedom, the one thing that really does it in for me is how terrible its longevity is. Because after the review, my the folding joints on the railguns are not railguns. On the beam cannons are loosened up, and even during the review, the backpack has loosened up. And that's not exactly an isolated case either. Like, a lot of the other Seed Freedom kits have this joint loosening issue. So that's what really made me concerned of the Seed Freedom kits. But then again, the Galgook Menace proved me wrong. Hopefully the Gant Strom would continue on that trend as well. Just so I don't have to worry about loosening joints ever again on one of those kits. Because my standard is, if a kit can manage to, oh god, wrong pieces. If a kit can manage to survive a filming session, then that kit would probably have good longevity in the hands of a more responsible person. Because if you're a responsible builder, you won't be posing your kits like every 20 seconds. So definitely your kits will last a whole lot longer if you're not going to be posing it for like very frequently. But if a kit doesn't survive a filming session of mine, then it has terrible longevity. So you'll either have to be extra responsible or just live with the flaws and fix it when it pops up. That's it. So that's like one of the major reasons why a lot of the Seed Freedom kits I said, just suit yourself. Because it's always the little things that get in the way of me recommending the Seed Freedom kits. But hey, are there airing dates for Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom and Uruzu Hunt anime? No. You watched the Seed Freedom, right? I have a question. Can you answer it or not? Because I'm really curious. Is the Rising Freedom and Immortal Justice powered by battery and not nuclear? Well, given there are no confirmations about whether or not they're nuclear. But you have, first of all, the Junius Treaty, which bans nukes, and the interface, which didn't say like anything that's related to nuclear. Because let me look up the OS of the Strike Freedom Gundam. Why is the left click so stiff now? I don't know why. What's the yeah, the operating system. Somebody blasting music out there for fucking chavs. But the operating system of the Strike Freedom is called the Generation Unsubdued Nuclear Drive Assault Module Complex Operating System. And the Rising Freedom has no such lingo in there. The Immortal Justice is developed alongside the Rising Freedom, so because of the treaty and the lack of lingo, it can be assumed that both the Rising Freedom and Immortal Justice are powered by batteries. And you can take a look at the power gauge as well. To be frank, we're on Run Exile and Mercury just from the first flashback. You didn't have the machinery. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. The only time the show used this full setting is the anti-bully part. Yeah, unfortunately so. Hey Daichi. Hey Daichi. The build is pretty good actually. I'm facing less issues than I had with my Maxter. Fair, but at some point she could have given an area proper body. That's what I said, Vincent. Who's the hated character, CG character in Gundam Seed Freedom? I don't know. I hate Agnes. Boss MJ and Chad, I have a question for you. Story lore wise, which is better, Seed series or G-Wish? Seed. Seed proper, even though it's a ripoff of the 1 Year War, at least Kira had some struggles and had some nuance to him before he stepped into the Freedom. And see, Destiny, you can say the same thing for Shin before he stepped into the Destiny and started sucking Durandal's dick. G-Witch, except for the side characters that have nuance, nobody has nuance. Especially not the main character, that's for sure. We assume Eri cannot easily move to an... yeah, until Keychain. Until Permascore 10. Until Permascore 10 allowed her to be put into a keychain because of the wishes of her clone. I would say see more episodes to flesh out their story. Well, to be fair, yeah. Doesn't she need to raise her Ares Permascore beyond 8 for some odd reason? Because plot says so. Hence they retcon the red eyes of Permascore 4. Zagan has great weaponry and death by lightning. Yeah. They can still revive Gundam Zagan as long as the Ahab reactor is intact. The entire armor is fried, come on. I doubt they would have salvaged the Zagan and had the right to keep it, considering it's one of the Gatahorn's kings. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of which, I really want to do like a follow-up video for my Gundam Frame Theory series. Just because we had so much new information now. And I have more leads as to guessing what the Baklazan family's Gundam frame is. Like, in case you guys want to hear it, just drop it in chat. I'll tell you guys the full story here. But I really want to do a follow-up video on that when I have the time. Because yeah, I have these videos to get to, and then the top 10 list that I am still needing to make. When it's halfway through May 2024, I'm still stuck in 2023. What a shame. The fact she hasn't done so in the first, I mean, Irel's probably something aside stopping her, but not that much of a G-Witch apologist. Fair enough. Admit to the flaws and just... admit to the flaws, and if you still like it, more power to you. It's the people that argue that G-Witch is the perfect Gundam series that pisses me off. I see, George. I give the benefit of the doubt because Human Soul and the main Gundam front and center spotlights an intriguing premise if they've done it right. I'm sorry I missed your message, Taco Guy, but yeah, we finally caught up with chat. You failed with follow-up in the end. Who do you think is the best Sharkon? Is either Zex or Rao? Both are memorable for me. Rao is basically just Shargon insane. And Zex, I have no memories of him. Just because I basically wiped Gundam Wing from my memory. It was so dull. It didn't help that I was viewing it with Chinese subtitles, which is the excuse for me not being able to comprehend stories nowadays. But that's true. It's true. I cannot absorb like story material as efficiently with Chinese subtitles as I do with English. So I'll probably have to give Gundam Wing a rewatch with English subtitles at some point. So far, I would say I would agree with Rao le Creuset much more than Zex. Just coincidentally, me too chose that to yeah. Me posting frequently for fun and photo shoot. That must be a nice hobby to get through, Daichi. My Gundam grammar got loose, but luckily I tightened the joints for all my. Yeah, you gotta fail once before you learn your lesson. I gotta tighten up most of my later IBO Gundam frames because first of all, my original Gundam Barbatos is still holding up very, very well, and it's almost like 10 years old at this point. So I don't know. But a lot of the later Gundam frames, like the Astaroth variants and the Gundam Gremory, and what's really between the Rinascimento and Season 2, I forgot. But a lot of the later Gundam frames have very loose joints, that I will admit to, so I will have to tighten those up at some point. I'm back. Have you ever built vlog videos instead of review? I know review videos are evergreen content. I haven't, but I have filmed some B-roll for me painting one of my kits, just because I need the B-roll for a video in case they're good enough for use. Because while I was painting at night, I need to make sure that my hands are in shot while I was painting. I might use this camera angle, to be honest, because I was using like a side camera angle, and it didn't really work. So I might just redo the B-roll on this because, and then there's a lot of like concerns of camera angle, lighting, and whether or not I can see the parts. So a lot of the pieces on that kit, you might not notice it in the video, but I just basically gave up on it. And a lot of the pieces have like minor uncovered areas of paint, like patchy paints, and that's definitely human error on my part. So I will have to try again and see like whether or not I will be able to do like build vlogs and stuff, because that's the thing. Like that's the thing about like me streaming these or just building them on my own, because I can just completely focus on the build and make sure everything is up to snuff. And during these streams I can just chat with you guys or whoever I brought on. So that's why I don't do build vlogs all that often, if at all, because I really want to I just really want to make sure that everything I'm doing is correct and up to snuff. With the build vlog, I'll have another thing to be concerned about, so that kind of distracts me a lot. It doesn't help that it doesn't help that it doesn't help that I'm autistic and I have ADHD, so focusing was hard for me as it is. So yeah, I'll have to figure out a better system for that before I fully commit. I hate space magic. That yes, of course, we all hate space magic, George. And I'm not saying that Unicorn is great about it. No, Psycho Frame is just as bad of a plot device as the gun format. We're still discussing G-Witch. The only problem for me with G-Witch is that they rushed the story so much. I hope they can fix it in the novel version. Hopefully so. And hopefully that Vanitas Heart will make me feel like better about G-Witch in hindsight. Because Vanitas Heart, like I said, is the series that we should have gotten. It delves into the impacts of the gun technology. It delves into the impacts of the Vanitas incident, like the immediate impacts of it. And if you ever read Vanitas Heart, don't treat Kiyu Lavitz as the main character. He definitely is not. Treat the scientist, I forgot her name, but treat the doctor as the main character. That way you'll have a better enjoyment of it. I'm still baffled as to like Is Chapter 8 of Vanda's Heart out yet at all? Ugh. What did you say previously? Super weapon, anticlimactic one combat you colony laser, double as Memento Mori, or IBL's Dying Slave. G which super weapon only fired once and got blocked by Ariel because yeah. The power of love. It's the falling in love. Hot take, characters would be cooler without space magic. No, that is not a hot take. You can just look at the look at some series like Stargazer or 08th MS Team, or even the War in the Pocket. Those never really delved into new type powers or, well, space magic in general, because yeah, either the characters are enhanced or it just isn't like a focus of those stories at all. And if you want a more fun alternative, check out Build Fighters. Like Build Fighters proper. Build Fighters Try has some magic in it. I don't know though. I know Witch for Mercury is bad, but the visuals and mechanical design save it for me. I put it in the same box as Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Excuse me. I haven't seen The Room, so I'm not the one to judge on that. But if you want to talk about oh my god, did I get the if only more kits adopted the Rising Freedom C clip joints, that would be much better on the kit itself. But yeah, if you want to talk about G-Witch, excluding the bad story, then yes, it's definitely a good addition into the Gundam franchise. You're tearing me apart, Miss Miori. Space magic gives us cool color on our gunpla. Stick it in build. Then you like how Mighty Strike Freedom sliced the blonde man that unicorn space magic? Well, I don't. The Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam needs to not exist. Like I said, power creep is one of the things I don't like about Seed Freedom. Mighty Strike Freedom is the definition of power creep. So yeah, there you have my thoughts about it. Like, I don't like the Mighty Strike Freedom because of its power creep. In fact, if you remember like a post from, like, I don't know, a few months ago, I considered skipping the Mighty Strike Freedom because of its power creep. Because I just hated it so much. So let's say, oh hi Gun Barrel. If it were in a series that we're not supposed to take seriously, then that would have been funny, Jim. Unfortunately, G-Witch wants us to take the story seriously, which is why it just doesn't work. Same with Star Wars. No Jedi makes better story. Rogue One and/or I'm not the judge on Star Wars. I haven't seen a single thing about Star Wars, apart from Episode 7. Unfortunately, so. But hey, if Star Wars is as good of a cultural classic as people are making it out to be, I might check it out one day if I'm bored. It doesn't help that modern media has soiled my opinions on the entire franchise as a whole. Because even seeing the good stuff, you know where it will lead to, and that will sour your opinions retroactively. So, yeah, it's gonna be a bit awkward. MJ, did you purchase the Godplan 205 Heru? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And since I've given my friend in Hong Kong the go-ahead, it's probably going to be sent to me within the next month or so. Wait a minute. IBO doesn't have Space Magic, but it has Ally of Inanna and Dying Slave. Those are more tech aspects. But then again, IBO's power creep has a consequence on the pilots. So that's why I am not that fussed about it. And especially because you can get awesome stuff like the Marcosius versus 2 Hariel units. So IBO's power creep, no, it doesn't bother me because it makes sense. It makes sense. It's a factor in the entire mythos of Iron-Blooded Orphans, and it's tech instead of a blank check for plot devices because not even the writers know what they're doing, and it has a consequence. Yeah, War in the Pocket Gun is built for Amuro new type, but its test pilot is an old type. Which is why the whole new type stuff wasn't heavily focused on. And makes it a more... Could people just stop honking for a moment? I put the leg on backwards. So that's why, like, War in the Pocket is like one of the more down-to-earth series. Like, mini-series, technically. But yeah, still, more down-to-earth. That's my point. Chance watching G Gundam is ridiculous but so much damn fun. Yeah, G Gundam is just fun. And G Gundam has cameos as well. See if you can find them all. Like, I think G Gundam was like the first Gundam series to actually implement like other universe cameos. Like, we all hail like Build series for bringing characters back or implementing that one obscure design in the far background for like 1 pixel or so. But I think G Gundam was like the first series to implement cameos into the into their major battles and stuff. Also, did G come first or Wing? Because if G came first, I don't know how they were able to implement the Wing Gundam as a cameo in G Gundam. There we go, that's one leg done. Except we need a hip and a waist. Did I skip the waist completely? Thankfully I didn't. No, don't spoil freedom. It's... I didn't spoil much. I didn't tell you how it's a power creep. But it's a gun... It's like Seed Freedom is a movie made for Seed fans. So of course you're going to expect power creep. Problem is turn A in the build. You're not gonna try to shoehorn build into how turn A ended up to be, are you? IBO power comes with a cost. Use too much power and use part of your body or even your life, George. So that's why I have no problems with IBO's power creep. An entire cult type of Gundam instead of high school series about corny corporatism. Fair enough. Worth it. Oh, the MS team, yeah. The always MS team was pretty good, and the romance, I don't get how it came to be, but it's still a pretty good motivation factor. Power Create HG Gundam takes it to the next level. Godfinger everything. That sounds dirty. I saw the 2 Gundam cameos. Oh yeah, about Barzam 2, I think the body will have new parts, arms and legs, all parts from Barzam along with TR6. Hopefully the Barzam 2 would actually have parts to improve the solidity of the TR6 base. But because, again, it's the core unit is the TR6. And if you've seen, like, I'm sorry, Pazer. I know you said I was too harsh on the Aqua Wound words. I still stand by my opinion to this day. If you buy a kit with the option to make it either improve a kit or make a kit worse, then yeah, I wonder which part you're gonna choose as a casual builder who doesn't have the time or resources or interest to go deep into fixing up model kits and stuff. But yeah, since the base is the TR6, and since they have done improvements for the TR6 mold to make it more stable before, i.e. the TR6 Kahar 2, hopefully the Barzam 2 would actually have something to improve its solidity to implement the Barzam parts. Albeit, yes, I understand, the Barzam parts are not as heavy or cumbersome as like the Aqua Woundwort or the 2 units, or even the Hreru arms and Hazel legs for the Gunpla 2. But then again, if they decide to make some improvements on the actual torso to increase the solidity, then I'm all for it. But knowing Bandai, that probably won't be the case. The Kahar 2 was just that special of a design change to warrant a new T-bar inside of the torso instead of the ball joints and separate arm joints. But only time will tell. And those cameos near the end of the series, yeah. Imagine that piloting a Gundam is technically eroded the pilot's mentality and physically to the point they're oozing sanity from it. Basically Bale and Zagan. G, then Wing. G came before Wing. Then how did they implement the Wing Gundam? Wing Gundam was in G for a teaser, I think. I don't know. The 80s, 90s are weird for me, at least. I didn't grow up in those. I didn't grow up in those periods. I was born in the 2000s. Not that my channel name has anything to do with it. However, the 2005 in my channel name means nothing. I want live action G Gundam with full blown stereotypes, and if they actually make a live action G Gundam, I hope they don't use the Gundam Maxter. You know what they should have used? The Gundam Max Revolver. Look it up. If you complain about the Maxter not having enough guns, look at the Max Revolver and complain then. If the Gundam Max Revolver doesn't have enough guns for you, then I have nothing to say. Fair enough. I still dig the looks of the Barzam 2 though. Fair enough. The one thing, like, excluding solidity, the one thing I'm worried about the Barzam 2 is if they do not implement the open Psycho Blade. If they do not implement that, or even as a separate head option, because yeah, obviously they're not going to be implementing an opening gimmick on it. What is it? A real great? No. But if they didn't implement an opening like an opened Psycho Blade, then I'm going to be heavily disappointed. But if they, never mind the fins. If, like, you can pick that one up. You can pick the Barzam 2 up, and what is it? Get the Hazel Alza, I think? Hazel Alza or the Mark II. You definitely need to pick up an advanced Hazel for the legs. And I think, is it the Hazel Alza or the regular Hazel? I don't know, for the arms. That's my point. Get the Mark II shield, and you can have another form of the Barzam 2. So, definitely a lot you can do with the Barzam 2 if you don't like what is presented as the Barzam 2. So, yeah. Advanced Zeta is bloody confusing, alright? Actually, when G is ending, wing is already in pre-production phase. Huh. Still baffles me as to why they implemented the wing, even though it doesn't exist in the public knowledge back then. It's either the wing was a planned cameo in... It's either that the Wing Gundam was a design from G they decided to implement and then scrap for a later series, or it was a teaser for the next Gundam series. Maybe they'll make another head. The head gimmick is kind of complicated for an HG, that's my point. Oh, I'm born in 1990 though. When Massacre started, I'm just 5 years old. I'm so old. I'm sorry, George. But yeah, here we go. Both legs are done. We can get to the waist, and then the weapons, and then what's the time? 5. So it took me about 2 hours to get this built. The camera's still lasting pretty fine though with the cooling pad, which is very, very nice. So I don't know. Tell me guys, do you guys want me to end the stream after I finish this build, or get a simple kit and build that? Because in terms of simple kits, I have the Hajiriboshi second form, the G-Witch weapons, and the Demi Garrison. So it's one of those 3. So if you want me to build one of those 3, or just end the stream after I finish the build, just so we don't have a repeat of what happened last time. So yeah, sound off in the chat. I mentioned the OG gap plans because the Hreru AOZ reboots is basically that in a different color with one piece to give it a Gundam face, minus the nice big booster the OG has. Why did they remove the booster? I don't know. But speaking of the gap plant, guess who decided to shit on it? Because it's not based on, because it is not as good as the Advance of Zeta Barzan. I plan to look at because mine is the gigantic arms. I plan to look at it for what it is, and give you guys like a full like re-review. Like one of the motivations that I have for picking that kit up is that I can do a re-review of the Gap Plant TR5 Hreru and actually do it justice. It's nothing to do with Mecha Gaikotsu. It's just my own motivation. But seeing as it has such bad word of mouth because somebody doesn't know how time works, yeah, my motivation to do it justice just completely shot through the roof. And then again, yeah, I want to torture myself with all the leftover parts from the gigantic arms version. Like, oh my god. If you've seen the schizophrenic reviews of the TR5 Gaplan Hreru, if you've seen the schizophrenic reviews, you've seen how many leftover parts the gigantic arms one has. Why? Because they want to implement shield boosters, so they printed the white runners of the Hazel twice. Why? Just implement it into the new runners and call it a day. Like, come on. It's such I'm not exactly complaining, to be honest, because I'm not going to complain about 2 extra beam rifles. But hey, if it's something for me to laugh about with you guys, then so be it. Make a poll since there's 20 plus viewers here. Sure. I'm gonna make a poll. That's the wrong button. Start a Q&A, start a poll. Anavata. Start poll. And could I retract it? Yes, good. I can retract it. Master grade still uses screws. Get a simple kit. Simple kit. Make a pull. Yeah, good. Ah, the Granddaddy 1.0. Yes, I will re-review the Gatplan Forever. And yeah, one of the other reasons I got the Gigantic Arms version is because it's like a fuller package. So you get the Gatplan Forever. You can choose to build it in the original Gatplan configuration. I still have to figure out how that works. And you'll also have the new parts like the color separated shoulders. Why would they bother doing that? The Hrudu 2 compatibility and the Gigantic Arms, as well as the new Gundam face. So the full package. And get that menu out of my face. If I remember correctly, some extra parts from the old Gatplan Forever also, which isn't P Bandai. So unless you really want it for one piece to give it a Gatplan to the Gundam face, it's not worth it. I'll be the judge of that. Because I know some people might want to implement the Gigantic Arms onto the Gatplans, which as it stands currently, whether you go the whole retail route and get the standard kit and the Psycho Gundam, or steal the ones from the Hazel Owsla Gigantic Arm units and stick it onto the Gatplans, you'll still need to do some mods in order for it to fully fit. Even then, because the shoulders of the Gatplans are terrible, and I believe that the Hrudu 2 binders are not connected to the shoulders on the actual Gigantic Arms Gatplans Forever, you're gonna have a hard time with it. So if you want the Gigantic Arms, go ahead and pick up the Gigantic Arms. If you want the Titan's color scheme, it really depends on my outlook of it. If it is worth the investment into the Titan's color scheme, then yeah, I can definitely go for it, but not sure. I'm definitely not sure, because I have no opinions, like no viable opinions that are formed at this current moment in time. Because I don't have the kit yet. MJ, what are your thoughts on Gundam Thunderbolts? The first season, great. The second season, I struggled to finish it. Mostly because, well, the Atlas Gundam was completely gone after after the battle where they actually had to go underwater. And I never really found it in me to complete my viewing of Bandit Flower. So, well, I mean, the first season was actually kind of good, and at the very least, you can appreciate the visuals. But Bandit Flower, I just struggled to finish it. I don't know why. I don't know why I never had the motivation to go ahead and finish it off. What's your favorite Gundam opening song? It's either Wimp or Nibu no Ichi from both of them from Build Fighters. Well, boss MJ, for Bada perspective, here comes the money. Jesus, when you go to your local butcher and you get like half. Well, you go to your local butcher and you pay for a certain amount of money for per kilo for your meat, only for half of it to turn out to be bone. Yes, you can make a good bone marrow soup from it, but still, it's considered waste in most parts. That's exactly like the whole situation with the premium Bandai TR5 Gap plant. MG coming low since 2020. Well, 2020 was understandable, to be fair. I'm impressed. Bandai's so lazy, they're willing to lose money by giving more parts. To be fair, they're earning it all back from us, the ones who are gullible enough to purchase everything that came out from them. So it's a win-win. It's a win for them, and a win for customizers out there. Ooh, that's one runner exhausted. People are just honking their horns like crazy. I think the gigantic arm is too heavy. Nope, I'll save money for Barzam 2. Well, now that you have the hindsight, then yeah, save for the Barzam 2. Because the gap plan is definitely not for everyone. Whoop. Wrong piece. When it comes to Master Grade kits, there aren't any many older kits that I want left at the moment. Is it because you bought them all or something? Huh. And that's almost done. For me, the old Master Grade U still wants to get... Oh, the old Master Grade I still want to get is the Zeta Plus A1 Amuro and Zeta Plus C1. Good luck finding those. Seems like there's a production problem that Bandai Namco can't disclose. That seems like producing Master Grades is an afterthought. Most likely. I don't know. We're not getting like Master Grade releases in Q3 and Q4, so who knows? Although, wait. It's May now, isn't it? It's May. And the narrative is released in April. I forgot when the Stein is going to be released. The Shinaju Stein. I forgot when that's going to be released. I just want to make sure my times are correct. Still can't believe it's bloody May already. But here it is. The high grade Gundam Lfrith Anavata. I'm surprised nobody questioned me about the name actually. Because people call it the most messed up translation. The Gundam Lfrith Anavata without the backpack. Yes, for those of you who are asking, it is the universal standard. It's a smiley face! Hey! Finally, the Stargazer has a friend. I mean, it's sort of a smiley face. It's more like a very sly smiley face, but smiley face nonetheless. Hey! Yep, right, let's build the backpack. I can't stand... It says June for Shinaju Stein. Okay, yes, good. So it is not Q3. So I'm still right. Q3 and Q4, screw Master Grades for that, eh? Anavata looks kind of plain. George, mostly because I didn't apply the stickers. Like, most G-Witch kits are like this, are in the same boat. Like, if you don't activate the shell units, it's gonna look very plain. But if you do, then you're going to be in for a treat. I didn't apply the stickers mostly because I want to show you guys what it will look like without the stickers, and especially because I want to show you guys the, if I can get the camera angles right, the engravings inside of the shell units on video. And since I'm using my main camera as my webcam, I cannot actually get the footage as I'm streaming and then get back to putting the stickers on. So that's why I've held off on putting on the stickers completely. And by the way, if you want to see the stickers, here they are. The stickers, you have sensors for the head and chest if you want to enhance them and whatnot, and you have the activated and inactive shell units. So take your pick. Smiley face. Yep, smiley face. Actually, I'm gonna have a heart attack if I've built my kids through all this time just to realize that the runners are not good. So let me take a look. Where is Lfrith A? Good. Okay, so no heart attacks going around here. Good. Good they have details on the shell units on this kit. I wish they can do that on all shell units. Let's see. I think it's way too sophisticated for the Lfrith and the Ariel. The Calibarn, maybe. I already forgot what a Calibarn looks like. I'm sorry, but it's similar to the Ariel and the Lfrith. So those are much too sophisticated. The Faract has some details. Same thing goes for the Donald Fold units, and then now these. So yeah, I guess you can BS your way out of why Bandai is not implementing like detail into the main units. But hey, more detail is good. You can actually paint them in the color you want. And for me, I can paint them with UV reactive paint and just have some fun in the dark. Do you think it's better to paint the eyes instead of adding stickers? I think it's better to not paint the eyes, Admiral. Because it's not like those kits with clear green eyes where you can literally not see them if you don't enhance them yourself. But if you do decide to paint them with just regular ass paint, you'll lose out on this. You'll lose out on the UV reactivity of the eyes. Because that piece just so happens to be on the spectrum on which where UV reactivity occurs. So if you pick up the Lfrith Anavata and don't plan to enhance the eyes with the stickers, don't touch them at all. You're gonna lose out on so many goodies if you do decide to touch them up without any special paint. Okay, I gotta head to bed. Thanks for the stream and fun talk. Have a nice day. Hope I can catch up with your stream next time. Nice for having you here, George. Have a good sleep. Boss MJ, what's your opinion to Bandai's simple standards that Mecha Gaikotsu uses in his current reviews? What do you mean? Please elaborate. What paint do you use for glow-in-the-dark paints? I use the, wait, where is it? There it is. For a lot of my UV projects, I use these. These are the UV fluorescent markers by Molotow, a German company, I believe. And depending on your use, they can get a little bit messy, and don't mind the price tag here is in Hong Kong dollars. But, yeah. They can get quite a bit messy, but they are still very, very good markers if you want to bring some UV reactivity to your kits. And if you want something more exclusive colors, like, for example, purple, I use these. These are the Hobby Mio fluorescent markers. These are water-based. So, well, it's not exactly blackboard markers, but it's like water-based paints, like Hobby aqueous paints, something like that. So, I use a lot of those just to give my gunpla a little unique touch. I feel bad for the people who bought the high grade narrative A packs twice for having A and B sets, only for the Gundam Base Japan to release a set with B packs, which is much cheaper. Yeah, my condolences to them. And I don't think the A packs works on any kit. It has to work with the narrative, as far as I remember. Mecha has these 3-pack Good Smile Company, which he uses in his reviews. Oh, action basis. I don't have the Good Smile Company simple stands, so I can't say for sure. But my go-to are, if I can find my black one, that is. Oh, it's behind me, I know. My go-to is gonna be these. These, well, you can't get this one anywhere, this particular version, because it's in a smoke clear black, but I use these. These are action-based 2s from way back in the day, because they actually have screws, so they're quite solid, and they also have like 2 axes you can adjust it on, so you can adjust it like this, or you can adjust it sideways. I know that the Action Base 7 and Action Base 8 have brought these back, but then again, screws are way more solid compared to just plastic on plastic joints, in my opinion. I don't know if that's fact, it also depends on the screws you're getting, but Action Base 2s are my way to go because they have a lot of adjustability to them. Sure, they don't have as many adapters as the Action Bases 4 and 5, and I doubt it has the simplicity of the Action Bases 6, 7, and 8, but Action Base 2s are definitely the way to go. The other flaw that I don't like about Action Base 2s, or related to their offerings, is they don't have a clear version. So I cannot paint like a clear, let's say clear purple version or a clear orange version whenever I want to. And Action Bases 4 and 5 actually have clear offerings, and 6, 7, and 8 are just semi-clear. So you can paint them in whatever color you want in case you want a more dynamic display, for example, GM particles and all that kind of stuff. So I don't like the offerings of Action Base 2s just because they're way too restrictive. But what they do offer is like thematic offerings, because they have a clear, like, sparkly green version and sparkly red version for GM particles. They have a blue version for underwater units, and they have a black version for a vanilla display. Of course, there are some other kits that use Action Base 2s, like the Master Grade Astrays that have tactical arms. So I know for sure the second revise has a blue version of an Action Base 2. I don't know if the Red Friend Kai has a red one. Not sure. And there's also like special sets like, there goes my light again. There are also special sets like the Wings of Light and Wings of the Skies real grades, in case you want a smoke black version to go with your real grade Destiny or real grade Strike Freedom. So yeah, I don't really have any opinions, but if the Good Smile Company ones are just $10 for 3 with screws, then I can probably omit the missing axes. Is that a JoJo reference? What? If I made a JoJo reference, I didn't know it. What's your favorite Lfrith? My favorite Lfrith is either the Lfrith Jew or the Lfrith Anavata. I don't know. It's probably that. Got a Kotobukiya White Glint for $60. Wish me luck. Good luck, Gundam fan. Taco Guy. I'm sorry for missing your deleted messages. Thanks for the information. I hope they're not expensive. They shouldn't be expensive. I don't know if they're still in the production loop though. So, if you want a simplistic version, just get the Action Bases 7 and 8. At least they will have like 2 points of adjustments for your actual displays, at the very least. Blah blah blah. The new Action Base 7 is very good. I might want to get one of those. I might need to get one of those because I kind of need a new stand. Of course, I can just paint them black if I want to. Gundam G-Self is the most underrated prototype design ever. Depends on which one you're talking about, because the space one, I don't like it. The atmospheric one is white rice. It's okay, to be honest. And if you're talking about other packs, like the Perfect pack, I actually quite like, despite how cumbersome it is. The High Torque pack, I definitely love that. Reflector pack, it's alright. I like the color scheme though, and the tricky pack is just a fat no. I don't like the tricky pack at all. The stand powers a whole gunpla straight. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't watch JoJo. Not a fan of Action Base 2 because every time I changed pose I had to find a screwdriver. Well, don't screw them all the way in then. Like, it's not exactly a hard issue to fix. But, to be fair, yeah. I understand that some people don't really like screws, so maybe the Good Smile Company ones. I forgot if the simple stands have screws or not, but if not, oh, I have the guns I have the guns the other way around. Yep, I have the guns the other way around. Hey, Nelson. But yeah, if a stand has screws, just don't screw them all the way in. To the most hardcore JoJo fan, everything is a JoJo reference. Fair enough. I think these guns kind of look like SMGs. To be honest, like those SMGs with the long like magazine. I don't know, it looks kind of cool. And it kind of, I don't know why, but it doesn't really mesh well with the Anavata's design. Because I fully associate the Anavata with being a melee unit, so the guns in the back are just kind of negligible in my eyes. RG Akatsuki is currently the most expensive RG. Wait, is Fenix not that expensive? I know I paid 1,000 Hong Kong dollars for mine, but I'll have to take a look, genuinely. When was the Fenix released again? Oh, it's smack dab in the pandemic, yeah. No, the Fenix is more expensive. 11,600 yen. The Akatsuki being at 8,800 is frankly cheap for a fully plated real grade. Oh, hey, Knight. Oh, retail real grades. Let's see. Yeah, most expensive regular real grade to date. Fair enough. Okay, time for the main event. The actual reason why I like the Anavata more than the others. The swords. Well, if you guys have been checking in on my videos, you'll know that I'm a melee guy. What's good color scheme for Rising Freedom? Oh, I don't know either of those. And I'm currently not actually free to do a quick Google search. So chat, please help out Revin. What color scheme between the VF1S or Rising Mighty Kuga is better for the Rising Freedom Gundam custom color scheme? I bet the Kuga is like a Kamen Rider reference. I'm sorry, I'm quite media illiterate. Don't blame me, I'm autistic. I have very specific interests. Is like, autistic people are quite hard to please. That's kind of why I shunned Mono Eyes when I first started the hobby. Kuga is a Kamen Rider, yeah. Well, good to know. I mostly remember it because it was an errand that my mom wanted me to run for one of her CCA classmates. I mean co-curricular activities, not Char's counterattack. Oh, sorry, I just get when MJ was finishing the Anavata. No worries. No worries. People are... Like, there's a poll you can try and vote for what to do next. And it seems like people are all for the G-Wish weapons. So I will be building whatever kit that you guys voted for. I will be doing whatever you guys voted for after I finish the Anavata. So, yeah. Oops. The nub caught right in the blade there. Can I release this already? Nope, I can't. But, well, I'm gonna leave the cooling patch off now. And hopefully, because half of it is still unused, I can still use it for my own emergencies. I know it's not necessarily sanitary, but what could you do? Like, there's still half a cooling pass to use, so why waste it? But anyways, moving back to the weapons. Bandai flexed their gold plastic with a Massacre Strike Freedom, but never used it on the regular Akatsuki, instead to use that doo-doo chrome plating. Well, to be fair, the Akatsuki is chrome canonically, so I don't blame them for using chrome plating. But then again, for those of you who want to paint yours, you're going to be in for a bit of a big pickle on that one. Because good luck stripping everything from it, trying to paint it up. Which is why I'm still really fussed. There's still no flat colored Akatsuki apart from the build Akatsuki. Which is a what is it? Hobby Pro Shop exclusive that is probably extinct nowadays. And I just realized I'm just trying to stick the sword holder onto the pommel of the sword. What a joy. There we go, and I don't think the sword blade direction matters. Yeah, here we go. There's one of them. Narukami. And please, if any of you guys are skilled enough, steal these and make the Extreme Gundam explosion. What is it? One of the better shows from the Hensei area. Kuga, because namesake and VS a transformation looks like. Ah. I'm sticking in right there, or what? That's odd. But hey, at least the swords are built now. Hello, I was wondering what your opinion was on the Black Knight Karura was. I liked it in Seed Freedom. I liked the mobile suits, I hated the character. But at least for your 3,700 yen before tax, you're going to be getting the core kit with fully color separated golden trims, eat your heart out, Shinanju, and all of the FF parts necessary to do a full display. Of course, I am a bit disappointed that the wings are like parts formed. Still, you get the wings of light. That's all I can ask for. Oh well, I'm getting lazy now, building my massacre narrative. My stop here and continue tomorrow. Time to focus on watching the stream now. Excuse me. Fair enough, fair enough. Time to build the Gurenge. Well, it's late for me. Finish cleaning parts for tomorrow and dropping off. See you guys next stream. Have a nice rest, Pazer. It's obvious, isn't it? It's pseudo strike freedom. I used to not like Mono Eyes, but after I bought the Zaku 1, I'm obsessed with it. Appreciation for what you didn't appreciate comes with time. Luckily, I cut it. I'm calling it B packs for Massacre narrative will be P-Ban, I said again. Why not? Why not? Because everything is going to be P-Bandai nowadays, so that Bandai can make that money. You want to make that dough. Starting to learn slangs now that I'm here. I'm just sad because in my country, gunpla is almost impossible to find. Where are you from, Nelson? B-Pass expansion will 100% be P-Bandai with a Gundam-based exclusive B-Pass Massacre with pack and figure, just like the Massacre Nadale. Like, who would want to buy just the Massacre Nadale? I don't know. Are we building this right? And, oh. Just holster them like so. And plug it onto the arm. Way. We have Lfrith Anavata fully decked out. Now I'm gonna leave the display stand for my own time, but I do kind of want to demonstrate the electric blades. If you have time to and without the cooling patch, the overheating just went out of control. Great. So I'll have to keep the patch on. Yeah, me camera is having a fever, guys. And they need something to absorb the heat. What kind of camera are you using? A ZV-1? Granted, it's a 2-year-old ZV-1, but still. And it doesn't help that my room is very well insulated and very hot, so there you have it. I have my excuses. Yeah, electric blades. Camera is saying I'm too lazy to continue. Oh god. I would have loved to yeah. I'm sorry, Vanna. But it is what it is, I guess. I would have also appreciated if the pre-production of Frith, the Heingra, and the Gunt node be regular releases, but it is what it is. Any culture shock caused by moving to the UK? Yes. Youngsters smoke everywhere. Youngsters vape. Youngsters drink. and everybody just gets along with each other. It's more like the party animals that I see going out every night with skimpy clothing. And apparently my playback is delayed. It's YouTube's fault. I would also like to see the Zuda F model kit. Yeah. I just got through a fever and I learned that the cameras can get fevers too. Well, electronics can get fevers if you overuse them. It's all down to a matter of whether or not they have good like heat radiation systems. I fully bet it's just because I fully bet it's that my camera didn't get any rest from my filming of the Maxter to the stream, and since the room is hot, the window is hot. So that's probably why it was just struggling to keep up. Now, here are the electric blades. I really love these. If you just let me use them like as they are, then yeah, I would have no problems with it. But they also launch off like a gun bit, which is even better. Like, when have we ever seen like melee bits in what? G-Witch. Now that I said it, I remember the Ishvara attack drones are melee bits, which frankly I like it. I like melee bits, mostly because they do require some skill to land a hit, instead of the modern status quo nowadays, which is have as many bits as you can fit onto your gunpla and just spray and pray. Okay, speaking of which, I'm gonna leave the Lfrith Anavata here. So let's take a look at the poll. Everybody wants me to build the G-Witch weapons. So, end poll, G-Witch weapons is gonna be next. So I'm gonna just clear it down while talking to you guys. Oh, I didn't plug in a thruster apparently, but the Lfrith Anavata is gonna be the desk buddy of the day. And don't worry, I'm probably gonna be streaming as well tomorrow, depending on if the guest I want to invite on is available. Even then, I probably would still be streaming on my own to get some of the P-Bandit kits built, because I specifically saved them for streams. So, desk buddy of the day, just sat there and crack on with the G-Witch weapons. And by the way, I mentioned wanting to build the Zeta Gundam Hono. Here's the reason why. Knight sent me these parts that I don't need from the Gunpla Battle Arms, so that I can have them to build the Zeta Gundam Hono. I have all the necessary bits coming. But still, I still need a Shiranui pack. So in case anybody out there is a 3D modeler for 3D printing, I would appreciate molding an improved Shiranui pack that is flat colored for me to actually paint. To be honest, sort of wish they stole the Gunvulva and used them for the aerial rebuild instead of making the gun notes. That way they have more. Sorry, has a 2 times school terrorism. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, and let me check the runners before I actually delve into them. Because if any of the photos are not good, I'm gonna cry. Good. We're good to go. And this one, I will actually apply the stickers because there's no point in showing you guys what's missing. Is there any melee suits that you don't like? Ha! Now that's a challenging question. Not really off the top of my head. But if I have to pick right now on the spot, I would say the Double Diver arc. Zuda is one of my most favorite one-year-old model lines, but the Lord treated them like crap. It's not our fault that Xeon is just focused on testing stuff, putting people's lives at risk. Gundam Maxter? No. Like, just to reiterate, my issues with the Gundam Maxter is due to the kid's engineering itself. The actual unit, it's characterful. That's why I kind of like it. Like, when have you ever seen like units specifically made to box? Like, I know the H1 Titus comes close, but that's a kit. No, that's not a kit. That's a unit made to wrestle. It's made for raw power. But the Maxter, pure boxing unit. And by the way, I'm not gonna change the title or thumbnail for this because, first of all, it's 3 different kits, and second of all, it's mostly an addendum to tag onto the stream, so it's not that important. Admiral, what unit are you referring to? Ragnar Psyche. I'm from Barbados and there's no gunpla here, so I decided to ask a relative in the States to get me some gunpla. It's new for me, so I'm getting 2 entry grades, 8 high grades, and 2 real grades, but I have to wait for them close to December. Oh, that's a shame. You think in Barbados you actually have some Gundam Barbatos kits there just for the irony? Apparently not. But yeah, my condolences. Hopefully you do enjoy them when the kits come around, Ragnar. I forgot its name, but I remember from Kakarot's worst mobile suits to pilot list. Mind if you have a look up for me, because obviously I'm currently not free to do some quick lookups. And by the way, do you guys want me to install the weapons onto my G-Witch kits before I go? I actually have all 3 of them with me in dorms. I think the Michaelis lance really fits for Lfrith Jew. I shall take a look at that, because I also have the Lfrith Jew in my possession currently. Hopefully this won't take as long. Whew. Even though it's a space mobile suit, it has no thrusters. It can only use magnetic grappling hooks to propel itself. It's even worse since those lines can easily be cut. Well, I'll have to know what that unit is before I can make a judgment on it. Because it really depends on whether or not I've seen it before. But from what you told me, it certainly is an impractical unit, to say the very, very least. Hey Sasaki! Oh, the Shroom Gallus. The Shroom Gallus. The Shroom Gallus. Right. A kit that goes for over 100 quid nowadays. I think the Shroom Gallus looks odd. But if it looks odd and is impractical, because I remember it uses spike shields as its main melee weapon. And it only has like 30 seconds of screen time in episode 7, so I definitely don't have a deep impression of it. Except for the fact that the kits are very expensive on the aftermarket. But for the sounds of it, it's actually a terribly impractical unit. Forgot to mention I'm also getting the Masquerade SD Barbatos. It looks so good as the gunpla. As a gunpla. Good to know you're playing into the irony, Ragno. And what's up, Sasaki? How are you doing? People honking outside. Absolutely fantastic. I thought your mic died, lol. Nah, somebody honking outside. I don't know why they just honk. Just honk, like, for no apparent reason whatsoever. And if my mic died, I would know, because there would be no feedback from Streamlabs. I'm doing well. That's good to hear. It's a busy road in Britain, in British roads, yeah. And here is the Daya Ambika. Basically larger shields for the Darabald. Set that off to the side. It's time to build the absolutely ridiculous backpack. I hate building multiples of something, but hey. The Gusa Ishvara are some cool units, so I'll stick through it. It's just unbearably hot, so gonna make my last batch of spaghetti meatballs tonight, so yeah. Gotta pinch on food while I'm out of pocket, so yeah. Yeah, it's a busy road in England. And by the way, to the new viewers who are joining the stream, the Lfrith Anavata is completed. I'm just building this on stream just to add an addendum to the stream. Not necessarily gonna change the name or whatever. Oh, there we go. Camera's completely gone again. I might have to use the other half. Yeah, I might as well. It's not good sanitary advice, but what the hell. Gonna use the other half of the fever patch just to get through the stream. Okay, so note to self. Do not stream right after recording. Or do not record right before a stream. Just so this doesn't happen again. I just wanted to get the Gundam Master review done for you guys. Yeah, sure, it's gonna be members only for a while, but hey. At least it's something off my plate. Blah blah. I live in Malaysia and it's common to see gunpla hobby stores. Ah, good. But unfortunately, people just don't stop not honking horns. But unfortunately, the most nearest store takes 20 minutes for me to get there, on foot or on transport. Because while I was still living in Hong Kong, the nearest gunpla store that I have was 15 to 20 minutes away, on foot. So if it's 15 to 20 minutes away on foot, then it's nothing much to complain about, if I'm honest. But if it's 20 minutes for, like, let's say a car ride, then that's slightly inconvenient. But still, you have your gunpla availability sorted because you're in Asia. So, hey, what the hell? Asians get all the preferential treatment from Bandai anyways. Do you think the PG red frame is a good first build? Why would you build a perfect grade as your very first build? And even then, I still don't have the authority to speak on perfect grades because I haven't built a single one before. And if I'm honest, if my experiences with the strays are to say anything, they're like one of the more involved builds within their own line. I remember us giving up on the on a knockoff blue frame second revised master grade back in the day, but that's mostly because one of the pieces was missing from the runners, and that it is, we were still beginners at the time, so we had some excuses to give up on it. And I built basically all of the high grade strays, and they're consistently more involved than regular high grades, apart from the no name. So I'm not sure if it is a good one as your very first build, but if you have some build experience under your belts, then well, go ahead. I wonder if Gundam Silver Phantom will repeat Bandai. It's a color variant of the Delta Kai, so probably. Are you gonna review the Anavata? Yes. I am posting the Maxter as a members only video just because people voted to see the Anavata and the Ghost first before they see the Maxter, the Hajiroboshi, and the Demi Garrison. How about real grade? The real grade red frame is simple enough, but you still need to know what you're doing with it because of the advanced MS joints. And still, it's an Astray. It's going to be quite a complex build. More complex than your regular real grades at the time. So if you're insisting on building an Astray for your first build, I would recommend getting the high grade. It's cheaper, you can afford to mess up. And there's still pretty decent kits at the end of the day, so get a high grade Astray if you want to start your gunpla hobby with an Astray. I would say get the Sengoku Astray, if I'm honest. Do you think new TR6 Baishan 2 would have its own armor set, or are we expected to use the Aqua Hambrapi or the Hudu 2? Neither. the scummiest thing that they can do is expect us to have the Barzam, the Advanced Zeta Barzam, for the arms and legs. But that's highly unlikely because of the high price point and whatnot. But if you want to customize your Barzam too, then yeah, sure, you'll probably get the G parts in order to do that. But they wouldn't expect us to have anything extra to have a complete Barzam 2, thankfully, hopefully. Not sure. If they expect us to have the original high-grade Barzam... In what way did these go again? Oh. If they expect us to have a high-grade Barzam at 4,800 yen, then I'm gonna flip. But that's highly unlikely, so you can expect a full package unless you want to customize yours or represents another form of the Barzam 2. How were you introduced to Gunpla model kits? My father introduced me to Zoids as my first model kit. Well, I was introduced to Gunpla after, firstly, walking into my brother watching the final episode of Gundam Age, and well, it was airing on TV, so it's not like it's not like it's his choice. And then my brother wanted an HFX, and they couldn't find it in stores, most likely because it's sold out. So my dad got a high-grade Gundam Age 2 normal, and I forgot why, but I joined in on their builds. So that's how I got introduced to Gunpla. And then my first proper build that I completed on my own is a high-grade Gundam Age 3 Orbital. And then I just got completely hooked because I really like putting stuff together and appreciating the cool stuff. What's the best Gundam Seed? I really want to do a complete obnoxious chav impression where some bastard is rev banging on the motorway next to my dorms. But yeah, what is the best Gundam series in my opinion? It's either Iron-Blooded Orphans or 00. Because the premises are interesting. And mostly, yeah, 00 because of the tech stuff. I love tech. Bandai, please bring back 1-to-144 scale weapon kits again. Do you mean the build custom sets? Because they are rehashing a lot of the build custom sets as part of the new option sets line. Like they announced that the Gunpla Battle Arms is just gonna be rehashed as the Battle Arms under the option set series, which I still don't get why. If you want to just reissue them. But hey, it is what it is. They're not gonna make any original. What is it? Original weapon sets for the weapon set line. So might as well rehash everything that they've done for Iron-Blooded Orphans, Gundam Build Fighters, Gundam Build Divers, and combine them into one umbrella line. I still don't agree with that approach, but hey, what can we do? I feel your pain. There's a railway near my grandma's house, and it's such a bother when I'm listening to music because the train will randomly go by. And it's weird for me because they never really honks that much. I know chavs, they would just constantly rev bang their engines, but rev bang their engines and have ridiculous overrun. Like, if you know what overrun is, it's basically the pops that come out after you rev your engine. So those are inconsiderate bastards, but from time to time, it's not that bad. Like, if somebody just decides to rev their Lamborghini in the motorway, I would like, oh, there's a V10. That's a nice sounding car. So I have. It's a mixed feeling for me. Oh yeah, what are your thoughts on Armored Core kits that are coming out in the future? I have plans on reviewing the 30-minute missions Armored Core kits, but it also depends on whether or not my pre-orders would go through. Because I've been thrown into the back order once, I believe I'm going to be thrown into it again next week when the... Well, not technically next week, but the week after, when the Mighty Strike Freedom finally comes out. I believe I'm going to be thrown into the back order again for that. But I did put down pre-orders on HLJ for the 30-minute mission Armored Core kits. I do plan to review them, so look forward to that. But it most likely won't be reviewed on release. Do you think bootleg kits are good to build? It depends, because currently, if I'm building anything third party, it's because they've done something Bandai haven't. For example, like the Bud Carrier from HG Gundam, or the what is it? Or the device backpack for the Gundam Exia. But they do run into common problems like the peg fitment and stuff. They're just not the best at that. But of course, it's DDB Corgi we're talking about, so it's a minor issue compared to what the final product is. Effect Wings is also one of them, because I did build their Fun Psyche. Excuse me. And their pegs don't fit the best. So at the moment, I'm building stuff from well-known third-party companies which have a decent reputation. So it probably won't be indicative of what the more obscure third-party company, which are the ones that flood their products on Temu, what how their products will perform in the grand scheme of things. But the most jarring issue for me about third-party kits is how their pegs fit. Because if they don't fit well, if the kit doesn't snap together well, we're gonna have an issue. Zeta TV series, not the new translation, because new translation skips a lot of things. Well, new translation is a compilation movie, to be fair. IBO and 00 don't have third-party decals. Sometimes I buy kits because of cool third-party decals. That's nice. What are your thoughts? I answered that. I'm currently watching most of Zeta Gundam. I'm almost finishing the second season. What do you mean second season of Zeta Gundam? What other RG 2.0s would you like to see? I'm sorry if you already asked this. Based on modern engineering and how well they did with the Gal Gaigar, I really want to see them redo a real great Zeta Gundam. Because it's considered the Black Souls, not Black Souls, Dark Souls of modern gunpla. Because of how janky it is. But recently they managed to do a combiner really, really well in the form of the real great Gal Gaigar. And I haven't heard much about it, but I've heard nothing but praise. So if they manage to do a triple combiner really well, what's stopping them from completely redoing a real great Zeta from the ground up and actually making it good? And I mean, we already had a taste of what a real great 2.0 would be with the Freedom Gundam GCP. So now that they're redoing the Granddaddy Gundam from the ground up, It's probably going to be a good kit that matches to modern standards and has good longevity, to say the least. So, yeah, a redo of the real grade Zeta Gundam would be cool. I would also like to see a real grade double Zeta, because of the very same reasons. Like, they did the triple combiner well, so maybe they will do a real grade double Zeta well as well. Zaku is also a good option, mostly because it's kind of wonky to build. Like, the frame aged like milk, so who knows? A Zaku would also be a pretty good complement to the Gundam in Real Grade 2.0 form. And of course I have to build the blade. I tried to build a third-party Gundam Destiny, and it's stiff at first, but looks as great as the original. Well, if looks are what you look for in a model kit, then so long as it looks like the original, then yeah, it'll be classed as a good third-party kit. But I'm more function over form, and if a kit doesn't function well, it doesn't matter if it looks good to me. But the same also applies vice versa. So if a kit functions well but doesn't look good, it's also some points decked from the kit. What do you think about the Gelgoog? Do you mean the Universal Century Gelgoog or the Gelgoog Menace? And I hate that this is the case now. We have to clarify which versions of said mobile suits we're talking about. It's either the Seed Freedom version, well, not exactly, but the Seed version or the Universal Century version. And here is Le Gunblade. I really wish a pink version of the blade effects would have been included for the limiter off, but hey, it didn't use it ever in the anime, so I get it. Alright, bro, I'm about to sleep. Talk to you next time, bro. Nice for having you here, Sasaki. Skip bootleg, HG. I mean, I think Massacre bootleg is okay, even though they were going to release their own Gym Sniper version plus other. Yeah. Honking. With how well the Galgai Guard did, a real great double Zeta Gundam would be really cool. Yeah. That's my point exactly. Boss MJ, previous guest Deathathon throws his P Bandai RG Zeta Amuro colors because he got annoyed, so yeah, definitely RG2 Zeta. Wow. That's such a waste. Like, I threw my Zeta Gundam. I threw my real grade Zeta Gundam into a parts box. So in case I need something from it, I can strip it. But just to straight up throw it in the trash is just a waste. There's still many series that don't have an RG. They maybe should focus on the series other than the redoing old kits. But well, Cup. The point was we were discussing about real grade 2.0s. So yes, I do agree that we should get more real grades from different series, but to be fair, that wasn't the topic matter. Ah. What do you mean? Ah, I see. So here is the full composite arms. Looking pretty nice, I must say. So that's the Direbolt weapons done. And yeah. I would like to boot the gunpla when I'm planning to make custom model kits. Well, to be fair, yeah. They're cheap, and you don't need to worry about messing up that much. Because Seed is being obnoxious is really one of those things. Yeah. Remember the Jin? Remember the Goon? Remember the Baku? Remember when Seed used to be original, except for the storyline? Yeah. Would you recommend the real grade Unicorn Gundam? Yes, but be mindful of the shoulders. Like, that's the one caveat of the real grade Unicorn Gundam that I will advise against. So, yes, the real grade Unicorn Gundam is a very good kit in and of itself. However, be mindful about the shoulders and you'll be grand. I don't really know what to recommend as a lubricant to the shoulders, because the one flaw of the Unicorn Gundam is that the shoulders are way too tight for their own good. So that's the one thing I am advising you to look out for if you do get any version of the real grade Unicorn Gundam. Now it's time to the... He said to your stream he threw it away because he got annoyed. It was so long ago since I've streamed with Zethathonics. So, yeah, and with so much on my plate, I'm sorry I forgot. Right. Let's see how good these weapons are. My real grade Unicorn broke both shoulders. Exactly proving my point. One day I would really want to see a UC Gelgoog, a real grade UC Gelgoog, or a real grade GOG. Real grade of peak kit, eh? Personally, I think the high grade GOG did enough for what it needs to do. But if we ever get any other of the Universal Century aquatic units, then go ahead, be my guest. I wouldn't mind a GOG. Unless it's the Thunderbolt version, which looks disgusting. For the Unicorn hairdryer, my brother used it and had no problems after. Nice. What do you think is the best army builder gunpla kit in general? It's either the Leo or the Maganak. Or if you're into Seed, then the Dagger L. Or the Winden. All of these options are pretty good. I think real grade I have the real grade Bastion, and I'm starting to worry if I built it. Just be careful with the shoulders and you'll be fine. And don't transform it too much, otherwise you'll break the leg thrusters. But I doubt you're as childish as 2017 me, so sure, you shouldn't have to worry about anything. What do you think of Firefly HSR? I don't play Honkai Star Rail, so I have no opinions regarding anything to do with Honkai Star Rail. I can't believe it's out for a year and I haven't checked it out at all. To be honest, I'm not really that interested in Honkai Star Rail because of the turn-based RPG system, and I think you need to complete Honkai Impact 3rd in order to have some context of the recurring characters. That's something as well. And I am not interested in picking up another gacha game for the misery that the previous ones cost me. So personally, I have no opinions on Honkai Star Rail, and I don't plan to stay tuned to that at all. Genshin, on the other hand, I still occasionally pay attention to the news, but I believe I'll have to start saving up for the Pyro Archon soon. or at least Chlorinde. Because everybody is gonna be pulling for Chlorinde. But then again, it depends on whether or not I have time to save for it. Because as I said, I have a lot of videos on my plate, and I have my dissertation to take care of. So, really, really depends. The GOG is the best mobile suit. He breaks his Banshee's shoulder. Will you do a Redux review of the Gundam HG Mao? I've always wondered because I've seen so little reviews for it. I've debated on whether or not I want to pick one of those up because I already have a Gundam HG Mao and I have everything I want for it. So there's barely any reason to pick up a second copy, and since all of the leftover parts are gone to the wind, I need to pick up a fresh copy in order to provide a comprehensive review. But given the recent reissue, I believe the prices on the aftermarket are going to start to drop. So if I'm ever interested in doing a Redux review of the Gundam HG Mao, then I might hop on the train, especially because it's reissued. So no guarantees, but I have a slight bit of interest. I just need to know what the hell to do with the one that I already have. Because I don't think there's any point to having two. Since if all I'm doing is getting two of the same kit, like buying a fresh copy of a kit that I've reviewed previously just for content, then I don't personally think it's worth it. However, in that case, I do have an extra high-grade Cosmic Era Destiny Gundam. I will want to do a re-review of that, but mostly because I got it because I have plans for it. Well, not necessarily that, but some plans for my old Destiny Gundam. Like my previous high-grade Cosmic Era Destiny Gundam. So, yeah. If you guys have any ideas on what I could do with a duplicate Gundam HG Mao, then sound off in the comments. Also told me that the real great Sasabi's shoulder connection is also kind of fragile too. Well, if you bend it correctly, then you'll be fine. Yeah, sure, it's a braking hazard, but just be careful with it. It's just a gigantic thick peg that is too tight for its own good. Then just be careful. That's all I can really say about it. Though you don't, Star Rail doesn't need contest from Honkai Impact 3rd. Oh, that's good at least, because I've only completed Honkai Impact 3rd to the stage where Himeko saved Kiana, and that's as far as I've got, because to me that's a very perfect bookend for a story. It doesn't need to continue from there. It's more like Chainsaw Man Part 2, where the story continues when it doesn't need to continue. Okay, so here is the Javelin Bracer. Of course, I still need to build the shield, but we're getting there. Oh yeah, mind if I tell you, Chad, I have 17 Leos now facing off my real great wing gunner. Well, you've just proven my point as to the Leo being a good army builder kit. Personally, I'm not patient enough to do anything like that, but hey, props to you. Didn't you pull for Navia and Shiori? No, I did not pull for Navia. I did not pull for Shiori. I pulled for Father, the Knave, just for shits and giggles until I got her. But I didn't have the time to build her up. That's my medical alcohol bottle. But it's just for cleaning stuff. Don't worry, I'm not drunk. So I'll have to save up for either Clorinde or the Pyro Archon coming up. The GOG is gonna take over the world, yeah. Wouldn't be redundant once the Spec 2 kit comes out? No, not exactly. Because if AFP, if you don't know how I paint my kits or touch them up, I usually, if the kit interests me enough, I will give them a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a special touch to my kits. And I'm thinking of changing the format a little bit, like not exactly changing, but doing like a triple feature of the Cosmic Era High Grade Cosmic Era Destiny Gundam for the Redux review, because I will technically have all 3 versions of the Destiny Gundam, because I will have a fresh copy of the standard. I already have the Heine Western Flux custom from back in the day, and I will have my own custom Spec 2. So I won't spoil what it is unless you know already from talking with me in private. But I will be giving my own Destiny Spec 2 a little bit of a special touch that Bandai will never ever give to any kits on standard. Plus, I'm not that interested in the Zeus silhouette, especially knowing the actual specs, like the dimensions, the size of the thing. So yeah, just know that I don't regret my decision on making my own Destiny Spec 2. So what is it that it wants me to do here? Well, I mean, I have the Michaelis with me, so might as well mount it onto that guy. But let me get the parts sanded down before I mount it on. Just for the record. Yeah, and by the way, here's my Michaelis. I really love these claw effects. By the way, these are not my works. These came in the Javelin Bracer of WH Studios. So if you want to support him, that's another reason too. And where's the lance head? Oh, there it is. Okay. Slide that in, close it up. Put the lance head back on. What do you mean? Okay, so you have... No, you don't have to attach the weapon onto the kits before you are able to attach the shield. The lance head is a bit unreliable, to be honest. But hey, here we have the Javelin Bracer. So there's a beam saber emitter here, and it can fly off. So yeah, it also has extendy bits to access the beam machine guns. The lance bit can fly off as well with the wire. The shield portion can also fly off. And there's a blade. So jam in as many weapons as you can within this one single composite weapon. Plus you have the claw and the beam bracer on the right arm. Good luck. You're just gonna be tangled up in the wires, mates. I reckon you can do a custom based on that name. I've seen somewhere that Jumao means 10 Demon Kings. Perhaps a kit bash with an IBO kit? Probably. I might just paint my red and gold, to be honest, because the open hands remind me a lot of Iron Man. I accidentally broke Michaelis' right arm. Wow. Good thing I glued it. The lance looks amazing. Reminds me of the Tall Geese manga Tempest Heat Lance. Wow. What are your thoughts on Shadik Zenali character plot? Sorry for bringing up. He's literally like, the writing for him is literally bipolar. Like, one moment he's this chill guy, sitting down and curating duels. The next thing he's a sadistic maniac. Like, I just couldn't get a grip on him, at all. Like, even in the end, when the plot revelations dropped, I still feel like, huh? How? Why? Like, this isn't consistent with what I know of Shadik Zenali when we were first introduced to him. Like, he's this chill guy that got a position in the Bennett group court just because he was adopted. There was... I don't know. It's probably me... It's probably me being too dense to understand that it's a good plot, but... Hey. You're talking about me here. Okay, and let's build the beam calivers, and then we're gonna be done. Because I don't think I want to do a stream that lasts until the evening. Again. And I'm gonna leave the wire adapters to my own devices, so I'm gonna leave those. What system do you play Genshin? PC, PS, or mobile? I play it on PC. You can do custom or leave it extra part for Gundam Jumao. Fair enough. I mean, I'm out of pocket now, so I'll have to save up. But then again, it will still take a little bit before deals start popping up, so hey. Beam Caliver, my beloved. Yeah. J chat, is RG Crossbone good to get? And thinking twice. The real grade Crossbone is a very good kit. Unfortunately, the one flaw that people constantly point towards is that it has small pieces, so it's challenging to build. And while I will not deny that that's the case, it's no reason to be turned off from getting the Crossbone Gundam. Like, it's small pieces. It's a bit of a challenge. Like, I always feel like modern builders are too spoiled. Especially when I started doing these monokit touch-ups for every review. Like, have you seen that one short that reviewed the Crossbone Gundam and called it bad because it has small parts? I don't know if you guys have came across that, but I have come across that short. And it was like, come on, a bit of a challenge doesn't hurt. And maybe you're the type to accept like an occasional challenge here and there. So, like, small parts are not a reason to not get the real great Crossbone Gundam. And frankly, the final product is very, very good. I'm not watching any anime currently, mood. I really wish there are some good selections. Like, I am closer and closer to getting myself to watch Free Ren. But fantasy isn't really my thing. Like, yeah. Like, fantasy, like, with elves, knights, wizards, they're not really my thing. I mostly just saw free run clips because of the memes. But I've heard quite a lot of good things about free run, and I am closer and closer to getting myself to watch it. But I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, stickers first. But otherwise, I haven't seen much anime. Like, ever since I finished season 3 of Classroom of the Elite, I haven't really seen much anime because nothing really interests me. What's your favorite Gundam series of all time? Given the context, it has to be Double O. Like, IBO, I'm starting to see more and more of the flaws of Season 2, and Uruzuhan didn't exactly do a good job towards its end. So, nah, it has to be Double O now. In terms of the story, that is. If you're talking about designs, IBO is still on top for me. If you want the definitive edition of Crossbone, then yes, sure, it's hella small, but the articulation and beam metal is amazing. Yes, absolutely. We all love Gundam emo metal. I highly doubt that anybody who doesn't like Gundam is watching my stream currently. I'm currently watching Zeta Gundam. The whole series is on YouTube. Really? Oh yeah. I remember that. I might need to scour the episodes for the one scene that the Hyakushiki it has that static shit. I forgot to put in a connector. Has that static visor. And mostly because the only thing that I registered from Zeta was that Camille is autistic. Because I didn't understand anything about Zeta. Not Shirako's intentions, not why he's like the most evil person in the universe. Because he barely showed up. Like, the one thing I don't like about the original, like the first few Gundam series is that every villain just feels like a villain of the week. Like, there's nothing memorable to them, to their appearances, and people still somehow remember them because of nostalgia and whatnot. Especially the first Gundam series. Speaking of the kit, do you expect real grade Akatsuki to use a totally new inner frame or run to 1.5 real grade strike? I expect them to completely redo it, honestly. But we shall see. Hathaway Part 2 waiting room be like, yep. I don't want small pieces part, but what I'm saying is it's kind of small in height in my taste. Yeah. I have the Crossbone Gundam real grade. I am holding off on picking up the X2 just because I'm holding out hope that they will do an X2 Kai. Unfortunately, with the milk and potential of Crossbone, Bandai still hasn't cashed in on making P-Bandai variants of any of the other Crossbone Gundams. Like, the X1 has the custom and the skull heart. There's 2 already, excluding the full cloth. And then there's the X2 Kai, the X3, the X1 patchwork, X1 full cloth, XO full cloth. And if they want to reuse the frame, they can just go ahead and do the Phantom Gundam, Ghost Gundam, and the Crossbone Gundam X13, X12, X11, and maybe even go to the Anchor. Maybe. Just maybe. There's a lot they could have milked from the Crossbone Gundam, and yet they still didn't do it. Who knows why? It's just ridiculous. I heard this Ryuga Shinanju is bad. Why is it? Because it is built on a frame that is not made for it. The Ryuga Shinanju achieves its looks from extending upon the real grade Mark II's pre-built inner frame, which, while it might be good on the Mark II, I don't know, I don't have it, the Shinanju's extensions hurt the frame a lot, making it a floppy mess. But my problems with the my personal problems with the Ryuga Shinanju isn't just that the frame is completely unintuitive. It's mostly from the parts just completely failing to fit. Like the backpack, like the back panel doesn't fit correctly, and any place that uses C clips, like the leg thrusters, they don't work well at all. And the thruster extension mechanic is wonky. The shield connection to the shoulder armor is wonky, and it's overall just a very fiddly kit. Mostly because it is built on a frame that's not made for it. So basically the point is, if they have built a completely new frame for the real grade Shinanju with the existing aesthetics, then yes, it will be a very good kit. But the reason it's bad is because of the frame. Right, Gundam 00 TV series is good, but turned me off in the movie. I don't really find the movie that bad, to be honest. If anything, it's consistent to the plot and a good escapist piece that you can just shut down your brain and just enjoy the action more than Seed Freedom. Because in Seed Freedom, once you think about the plot, you're basically experiencing that Vietnam flashback. But if you look at 00, at least the plot is consistent. Well, give or take your opinions on the aliens that exist, but at least it is part of Eolia's plan. So, if you don't want to think about the plot, you don't have to. If you want to think about the plot, you at least won't get a massive headache over it. Io Takuya, the designer for the Murasame Kai and Zeus silhouette, just said on Twitter that Bandai told him the real grade Akatsuki is compatible with the high grade Zeus silhouette. That is good, but I personally won't be the one to test it. I don't think I am going to be picking up the high grade Zeus silhouette. I don't think so. Because it's way too large and way too expensive. Like, the length of the Zeus silhouette is twice the height of the Typhoeus Gundam Chimera. And I was already pushing it when I picked the Typhoeus Gundam Chimera up. So imagine paying like 7,000 yen for... Okay, I already have the Shroud. Paying 7,000 yen for a craft that is double the height of what I've already pushed for. Like, that's just a mobile armor on a whole nother scale. That's like a me-tier unit that is equipped as exo armor. So no, I personally won't be the one to test whether or not the real grade Akatsuki is compatible with the Zeus silhouette. But to be honest, I doubt Mecha Gaikosu would touch that, to be honest. Like, touch on compatibility and all that stuff, because I personally don't think he cares. Unless it's listed in the instructions, then that's another story. But hey. I'm just saying it here now. Unless there's some extenuating circumstance, I won't be reviewing the Zeus silhouette. But hey, here we go. The beam calivers. I won't be building the joints for the fire axe for now. I don't want to take them out. I'm just here to demo the gimmicks. So they look pretty fine. I personally still like the one I painted from WH Designs, to be honest. No aircon feels great. Excuse me. How's the warm weather treating you? Badly. Oh yeah, the peg is a flippy up type peg. So yeah, let me collapse it. Looks quite seamless. And just flip it out. I don't really like this extra step. The 3D printed version from WH Designs doesn't have this step. But hey, remove the ammo pack and you can plug the two guns together Strike Freedom style. And collapse that. Extend the slide this thing to the back to reveal the yellow detail and extend the side. And now it's the beam musket. Weird name, I know. It doesn't necessarily need to have a name, but they're giving names to everything you would struggle to remember in the desert. So yeah, it has a name. So yeah, here we have. I'm gonna be calling for last call for comments before I end the stream. So we have the Darabalt weapons. That's the wrong place. So we have the Darabalt weapons, the beam musket, and let me just unequip this from the Michaelis. Yeah, the Javelin Bracer isn't really doing good for itself, is it? It might be user error. I need to experiment with it more. But I feel like it isn't really holding up on its own. But hey, in the Javelin Bracer and the Gundam Lfrith Anavata. There goes my light. Happy days. So last call for comments. Let's have a little chat before the stream ends. I'm probably gonna be streaming tomorrow as well. Though, yeah, you'll see the stream notification if I do want to stream tomorrow, just to get some of the other P Bandicoots built as well. Don't know what's going on with Bandai Studios lately. Wish for Mercury was a big F hit in Japan. Somehow don't capitalize on this trend and essentially create the next Gundam Seed. Or somehow they fucking create an entirely new multimedia IP, Synduality, instead of porting the existing game like the Extreme Versus series to all platforms. I don't know, really. They most likely want to focus on the metaverse. Like, they've invested like 150 billion US dollars, as far as I remember, into the metaverse project. They want to bank on that. And based on the crappy products they released from the whole metaverse project, I doubt that's going to be the case. But it's probably what's draining their funds to the point that they have to kill off every single game and rush through every single series in order to get more products done at a lower budget and earn something back. Seed Freedom plot is consistent with Fukuda's usual affair too, but it's not consistent with the plot. Like, Like, Seed Freedom has a lot of retcons. If you think about the plot. Like the whole special human beings thing. I won't want to spoil it. But the whole special human beings thing is completely inconsistent with Seed. The abilities of the Black Knight Squad is unheard of in standard Seed, because I doubt that Fukuda would be that vigilant. And not vigilant, but I don't know what's the word for it, but I doubt Fukuda would delve into the deeper lore of the Seed side stories, because only one character has the abilities of the Black Knight Squad in the Seed mythos. So yes, it's consistent with Fukuda's brand of bullshit, but it's not consistent with the plot they themselves established. So yeah, Boss Engine, what are the pre-unicorn real grades you recommend us viewers to get? It's hard to think of one. Let me grab the list. Let me grab the catalog. I can't think off the top of my head. Pre-unicorn, eh? Oh yeah. Real grade gold frame is one. Real grade red frame is a close second. And apart from those, let me take a look. The Exia is fine, except for the GM power chords springing the shoulder armor up. I have no say on the Zagok. I will want to experience it someday. And I keep going back in time. And I can confirm that that's it. So, the Exia and the two Astray kits. That's it. Hopefully Bandai releases the glorious goon amidst the Seed hype. I'm sorry to bother. Sorry to break it to you, they already did. And it lost the sticker. For God's sake! They already did release a goon kit. So unless you are referring to an updated version, they basically did what you are proposing. Hey Jiro, you're a bit late, aren't you? We're just having a last chat before I end the stream. So yes, I want to get to this soon. I will be painting this up, but I need to get the footage for this straight build done before I can take off all the stickers and replace everything with paint. So yeah, a goon review will be coming down the line, hopefully soon. And Gundam Seed Freedom is just cross Angie reskin into Gundam Seed lol. Geek Gaming recommend Mark 2, Real Grade Double O Quanta. Double O Quanta, no. Real Grade Double O Quanta, the biggest issue I have with it is the shield. It will fall off with a few adjustments, so either be careful of that or just avoid it. Looks kinda cool. Give us one more spin of the Anavata. Sure. So here it is, decked out. Like I said, I didn't apply the stickers just because I want to show this form in the review. And as far as I can tell, the colors are correct, unlike what the product photos will suggest. So I will be adjusting my camera to reflect that fact, because every single other review depicts it as being way too rich. So, camera issues. Which of the weapons do you like the most? Personally, I think, based on the experiences I had on the stream, I like the Darabot's weapons the most. Most likely, the composite arms. Just because I like that it has basically two guns, like a spread shot and a standard beam rifle, as well as a gun blade you can use as a sword and as an itty bitty pistol. So the composite arms is definitely the more practical composite weapon compared to the javelin bracer. And the beam calibers are just weird name, two sets of guns. I already have them. It's nice to have them be fully functional and have an ammo clip there, but hey, it's just guns. Back-to-back stream, yeah, back-to-back stream, because I still have the Ghost, the Hajiroboshi, and the Demi Garrison I need to build, and then I can get those videos done before I compile the 2023 best Gunpla list. So that's a lot on my plate on top of the dissertation and a lot of backlogged videos. So yeah, those kits I've saved for a stream. So might as well be tomorrow, just to get things done. Somebody's revving their Lamborghini outside, a V10, probably a Huracan, probably good. And any spoilers? No. Some cool weapon stuff. Yep. Might watch the next stream. What the? Spent $1 billion? Yeah, Bandai. Best financial choices for the financially illiterate. No, there's one spoiler, but not major either. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Have you ever created a custom model kit before? Yes, but because of the poor reception to my showcases, I haven't really showed much. Like, I haven't really showed many of them ever since like 2-3 years ago. Yo, what's good? Building my new Eclipse. Is it the Mark II? Like, well, Reactor 2. Wish I wasn't late. Next time I guess, haha. Well, I'm still chatting, so yeah. An updated Goon would be nice, yeah. And the camera just died, so it might be my indication that I should go. I'll good night, MJ. Bye. Good night, little LW. I'll catch up on comments in the stream. The camera is just like, I can't take this anymore, even if I'm cooled down. Okay, good would be nice. Besides the shield is a great, real great. Yeah, the double Quanta. Thoughts on new Gunpla announcements? Juro, please catch my stream tomorrow. I can't do this anymore. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's that the camera can't take it. But I will probably be talking about the new Gunpla announcements tomorrow on my other stream if I feel like doing it. If I don't, I'll schedule the next stream and then I'll talk about it then. Last question for today's stream. Can Railgun Crossbow carry all of its weapons? I'm bug suckers on kits that can carry all its weapons and store them. Beam Zamber, Beam Buster can be stored on the side skirts. The Heat Daggers, the handles can be stored on the shins. The blades, you'll have to separate them. The Scissor Anchors, the chains, you cannot coil them up, of course, but the Scissor Anchors themselves, they can unfold from the front skirts, and they're pretty easy to set up. The Cloak, you can't just toss them on. It's pretty simple. You can omit it if you want to. There's a separate eyepiece that you can choose to build between the twin eyes or the one with an eye patch. And I believe that's all the weapons. Of course, you can't store any beam effects. Well, the brand markers can fold out directly, so that's fine. If that's fine and dandy. But of course, yeah, evidently you can't store effect parts. You cannot store the chains. You cannot store the separate eyepiece. And there are a lot of different hands that you cannot store on the kit. So you have your ziplock ready. But other than that, just the base weapons on their own, they can all be stored on the Gundam except for the daggers, except the blades for the Heat Daggers. Unless you want to pose it aerial and store it on the feet, then that's another option too. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah. And that's gonna wrap it up for the stream. My camera can't take it anymore, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. And thank you all so much for popping by, and thank you all so much for sticking with me. So I'll see you all next time.